That's sensitive. It means you can bully the shit out of it, you asshole.
What?
Other one cried at anything you said. Hated
This is
that.
a fantastic way to begin the stream. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another session of...
Who?
Of? Nick, it's not too of a fuck.
Annihilation.
We made
All
Rose
right.
say who of the word. That was sloppy. That was sloppy.
It was one of the weaker entries in our Tombing of Annihilating. Last time...
Okay,
we're only
stream, I do not beat up my headset. That was a joke.
Oh, he does. I've seen it.
No.
If
One
we
time
have
he
a
turned
weaker
his
opening, maybe Valinja will think we're weak and she'll underestimate us.
Nah.
Ooh. No?
Nah.
Okay.
You're underestimating her legendary item, Eyes of the DM, where she can see all of our character sheets.
Last time on Tomb of Annihilation, you all found the entrance to the tomb and proceeded to spend the next 2 hours figuring out that the entrance you found in front of you was actually a fake, and then you found a real entrance. As you shimmied your way into the real entrance as the countdown was ticking down, Melinda's entourage attempted to enter, but the gate suddenly closed down onto them as all knowledge and perception of the outside world has now faded away, as you can see here. It's quite a literal fading, like, you know, it's not there anymore. You can't see it. You can't hear it.
Crazy.
You can't sense it. The outside world has cut off in all aspects to you. It's all but before you is this hallway of sorts that stands before. As you entered, a little skull popped out of the wall and started speaking inside of a voice, saying, "Hey, welcome to the Tomb of Annihilation." It then greeted you, and then disappeared back into the wall.
And it dispelled all the magic on us, right?
Yes, you will see Valindra's true form momentarily as they recast their spell back onto themselves.
Nice.
Alright. It's like a exciting theme park. How
Can
exciting.
we save the cookie man who was brutally murdered by our team?
He's fine. He's fine. He knows the second time stop according to Aqua. So if he's dead, Aqua and I are throwing hands at the end of the campaign. I'm just saying.
God. All right, an ultimatum has been made.
What if he's dead? What if he's dead, but it's entirely unrelated?
That would be okay.
His hands, Aqua.
No.
Yeah,
Jake,
he is not
he's-
dead according to due to that one reason.
he is dead, but very specifically, it is your fault.
That's fair. You have to remember, I'm allergic to cookies in real life. This is my ultimate revenge.
Exactly, it is your fault.
Who was
How?
it that pulled the lever?
Pull the lever,
I think I pulled the lever.
It's your
Then
fault.
It's his fault then.
Yeah, it actually is, yeah. I knew that would happen. I was out to get him for sure.
Oh, I imagine we can see whatever the hell that is.
Yes, let me go ahead and even start getting the descriptions for the things that you see in front of you. Here's what you see.
Wonder if I can shoot lasers.
Your mom.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
We're in rare form tonight, everyone. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. A moss-covered corridor extends beyond the second door that you went past here. Tree roots hang from the sagging ceiling, and the air reeks of rot and damp. Ahead, a bas-relief carving of a bearded devil's face adorns the wall at a T-shaped intersection. The devil's open mouth is a well of utter darkness.
So I'm thinking not going into the mouth.
What has darkness ever done to anyone? Looking down, Aqua, does it look like this? Because on the map, it kind of looks like it goes like both directions.
Yeah, he even said it's an intersection.
Oh, okay. I somehow missed that.
Well then.
Are we doing zombie tactics again, or?
I'm not afraid to just simply walk.
How tall is this, by the way?
How tall is this place? Unless otherwise specified, every quarter is as tall as it is wide. So,
Okay.
since it's 4 across.
15 by
No, sorry.
15.
Yeah, it's 4 across, so it's 20 by 20.
Can we break the monkey temporarily?
I don't think that's something we're capable of doing.
What?
The monkey?
Shrinking him.
Oh.
Can we put him in a bag of holding?
I
yes?
don't think that they'll fit in a bag.
Wait, they won't? Fuck.
I mean, they have a limited, like, radius for their opening, you know?
Yeah, I forgot they have volume limits.
We could just shove his head in there, like tie it around his neck.
I mean, I don't think that solves the issue.
Okay, let me actually get
No,
this my computer.
okay, I watched the newest Matrix movie, and they did this thing where they walked into like a really small mirror because of like the way that a mirror like looks. I don't fucking know. I did that, but it was possible. So
Okay, wait, so what's the
shove the
problem?
monkey. I don't know. It might be too big for us to move around.
Do these
Seems
just
like
look
it
like
fits just
regular
fine.
tree roots, by the way, Aqua?
Yeah,
No,
they
it's
just seem
good
like
to-
regular
actually.
tree roots.
Alright. In that case, I'll just follow
Wait, so
along.
like I feel like Carrie fits just fine here, no? Like
This should probably be,
That's
like,
fine.
me and Saga in the front, right?
Saga, as you step right there, a pressure trap depresses down as
Okay,
a small
hold on.
dart exits out of the wall.
I will catch the dart, but
Oh, you-
also like
You catch it.
what trap? Like I would definitely have seen the trap. You know me with my dungeon eyes.
Dungeon Delver. And then
Yeah.
that ridiculous passive perception.
what I like to think is that you saw it and intentionally stepped on it so you could catch it.
That's
Yeah, you're
fair.
showing off.
I
I
will
would-
note
Yeah.
that I
But none
am
of us are
taking
impressed.
advantage of the fact that my mount can fly, so I'm just always going to be above the ground.
I am going
It's
to
floating.
like walk first, and make sure that there's like no traps or just like tell people where to go.
There's one right here, also, just in that little spot right there.
I'll disable it if I can.
Alright, it looks like it's a pressure trap, and then you see that it's linked up to a very obvious hole in the wall over here. You can even see the dart extending slightly out of it.
I mean,
Okay.
it's a little too obvious, isn't it?
I mean, still, I'll disable it.
Alright, you take the dart out, you just kind of casually grip it with your fingers, and then it's yours.
Do I see like poison or acid or something at the dart?
Yeah, it has some poison on it. Does anybody have any way of identifying this with like a poisoner's kit?
I
Uh,
am a paladin, so now.
I don't have a poisoner's kit.
I'm not
Me
that
neither.
kind of rogue, so no.
Yeah, I don't think I have any way.
Best I can do is nature proficiency.
Yeah, same with me, and I think I have nature proficiency as well. Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah, it's poison, alright.
Some good.
Thinks
poison.
you wonder.
I'll ask Valindra if she has some way to do it.
Unfortunately, I haven't really. Well, hold on, let me detect poison. The disease. I forgot if that tells you anything about the type of poison on it. Yes, actually, they will begin ritually casting detect poison and disease.
Alright.
It will take 10 minutes though.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's plenty of time for Saga to look around and not touch
Yeah.
things.
What is
I
the
will-
before you step around the corner here, who has the highest dark vision and to what extent? It is
I-
pitch black inside of this too.
I have 180 feet of
I
dark
have
vision.
60, I think.
60 feet of true sight.
I have 0 feet
At
of either
10
of those.
feet
Um,
of... No, 60 feet of... What is it called again? Tremor
True sight?
sense. And 10
Oh,
feet
tremor
of
sense.
true sight. Yeah,
Oh, and
I
your
have-
dark vision's 180 still?
180.
I have 60 feet of blind sight, so if there's anything that dark vision can't see, I also have like better vision close up.
I only
Mhm.
have 60-foot dark vision.
Right.
I don't think I have blind sight. Just true sight. And tremor
Alright.
sense.
Yeah, you step around the corner here, Saga, and take a look at what you see. Left. You can place yourself around that corner there for dramatic intent.
Boop. Boop.
So traps should be
What about this
better
side?
concealed in this place.
Alright, let me one at a time. Over at the left side here. Right there on the ground, a rusted iron gate is set into the corridor floor. Through its bars, you can hear muddy water flowing slowly past. And to the left, further over there, creepers and vines cling to the walls of this corridor, at the end of which is an arched crystal window, 6 feet wide and 10 feet high. Through it, you think you see the outline of a chamber, but the mosaic nature of it makes it almost heavily obscured to see through. It's tessellated on the window.
This one?
Is it like
Yes.
glass, or is it just like balls of light, or? can we
It's
not
definitely
tell?
glass, yes.
Okay.
It's an arched crystal window, but it's covered in like a mosaic of colors.
Okay.
Would I be able to see through it with eyes ability?
Not from this distance.
Well, obviously, but I mean, if I get obviously, like it's an inch off, like with the eyes, so.
Alright, you take a look over to your right, to get a nice clear view there. You see that it extends quite a bit. All the way here, where your dark vision can't quite reach any further.
Okay.
You can see some stairs, just right there. You think you'd have to get closer over to the awning here in order to get a good view of what's below.
Okay.
And looking over to behind you, you see the crystal skull is there again. Hey!
Okay. So I think that we should check out this, investigate it or something, just to, before we head that way.
Wait, did you just ignore me?
I mean, aren't they?
Wait.
Are they not recorded messages?
Just because I'm a recording doesn't mean you can ignore me.
Okay. Hello?
Yes. So,
What
you
do
should
you
know.
want?
You should know. You should know that after 6 hours, this tomb will blow up. That's all.
Oh.
Why?
That is good to know. Perhaps we should take things a little quicker.
Okay.
The crystal skull disappears into the wall.
Alright.
Let's take a long rest.
No. I'm
If you
gonna go
think
this
about
way.
it, if the tomb
I'm gonna
blows
make
up,
sure-
I mean, we win, right?
I'm making an active
True.
investigation check for anything else around here. On this side.
Alright, looking to see if there's anything in particular. You look down over. You have tremor sense, so you can kind of get a feel for where the cavernous wall begins and ends there. You listen quite intently.
Okay.
Yes, your tremor sense, you kind of feel into the ceiling almost as you kind of feel over where the ceiling of that cavern really is.
I'll go next to this. Obviously, make sure there's like no traps or anything. Is
Right.
there anything in the ethereal realm?
Yeah, on this section here, this glass window, you vaguely make an ethereal link beyond it. You kind of squint to look over into what's inside of this room, and here is what you see. It takes a little bit, right, squinting at the window here.
Yeah.
Until you witness all of this. Hold on.
Okay. Wow.
The description is as follows.
I'll read it out loud to the squad.
Oh.
Well, we don't have a god narrating this.
Yes, we
Suppose
do.
that's true.
Ooh.
That would be very strange if they did. Just
Odd.
that'd be incredibly strange.
There's
Give
a
me
true
second.
neutral god just called narrator.
Sure, it's the voice
I
of
think
the hand.
sometimes they veer more towards chaotic neutral, but
Or
generally
something.
neutral.
Oh, okay. Here's where it is. I'm just trying to find where it was. This vaulted tomb is overgrown with moss and creepers. A stone sarcophagus rests on a stepped dais in the middle of the floor. On the wall behind the sarcophagus, two large statues of bears grip a 5-foot diameter bronze disc embossed with a dozen glaring eyes. 6 desiccated corpses slump on thrones and niches along the wall. Each corpse wears a black mask made of paper mache and feathers.
Yeah. Need to pull up that obelisk thing again.
By the way, how many of the items that we activated are we using at the moment? Because I'm pretty sure we're gonna need all of them.
What do you mean?
God items?
Like,
The trickster god items.
yeah.
I have
pretty
the Ring of Muscle attuned, and I'm using a transformed Thunder Striker, but it's not attuned.
I've got Wongo's homing spear.
Okay, I have the
that
medallion of
shit.
vigilance. I think that we should all take something. At least.
Well, I guess the most appropriate is the Crown of Repression for Kion.
Yeah, is that okay, Aqua? I feel like we would have discussed this beforehand. Like,
we're not attuning to it, right? That we're just hanging on to it.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we should have it attuned.
I ain't on attuning for what I got.
I just feel like we're gonna need it. Like, there's
Meh.
items.
we might need the item, but I don't think we'll need it to be attuned.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. Well, I think I have all the items, anyways. Like the ones that I'm not using.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But we probably want it on our person rather than inside a bag of holding, just in case we can't access bags of holding.
That's
So
true.
having it on our person, at least having there, would be nice.
Okay.
I
So
think
what were the
the
items
only
again?
one that's not being used is might be like Unks right now and
Nick's
Moas.
using Unks.
Thanks being used, yeah.
What about Bruno? Do you have all 6 of your slots? Okay, whatever. I'll hold the stick. Fucking whatever. I'll put it on my back.
Nick,
Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
you were asked a direct question, sir.
Oh, sorry, what's up?
What are you attuned to?
I'm attuned to... If my character sheet would open up, please. Very much. I'm attuned to the Ring of Mental Fortitude, the Rod of Alertness, Unk's Walking Stick, a Robe of the Archmagi, a Cloak of the Arachnida, and the Staff of the Python.
Okay.
Okay. Good, because
So
we
is
are
that all
making
8?
sure that we have all the trickster god items on us, just in case we need them in the tomb. So Aqua, is this like a door or is it just glass?
It is a colorful mosaic crystal glass window.
A window. Okay. Is there like?
Break it.
I don't want to break it.
Why not? The
But
tomb's gonna
is
blow up in
there
6 hours anyway.
We need
is
pass
there
wall.
anything that looks like it could be an entrance around here?
No, nothing of the sort seems to be around. Your high investigation, you're sure of it. It seems like it's just purely a window. There's no latches or of any sort.
What
I
about
believe that's
inside? Do I
the-
see something that could be an entrance on the inside?
It's
Like,
foggy of sorts. Looking through this window, it's hard to get a super clear view beyond what you've already seen.
Is it kind of like a looking through the looking glass kind of thing?
Yeah, like
okay.
almost like looking through a kaleidoscope, but a little less intense.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I think something needs to be done. It's like
Can
and
I
then like
tell how
when you
thick
meet a
this is?
condition, you can walk through it or something.
Can I tell how thick this is? The
How
glass?
thick this window is?
Yeah.
You have your eyes a minute seeing on, right? Inspecting onto this glass. It's pretty thin. It looks like one solid blow would break it apart.
Yeah, I think it's probably a portal rather than like an actual window.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have magic like or kind of proficiency, but I will like kind of ask what everybody else thinks that if somebody with Arcana is able to tell if this is magical.
Well, I imagine Volange is pretty good at that, and Kiana's expertise.
She's busy, so like we can use Kion instead.
Yeah, Kiana's expertise, so Kion probably would know something if it's Arcana.
Alright. You head on over Kion and check it out. The window itself doesn't seem to be explicitly magical, but Saga, you did notice there was an ethereal link from the window over to inside of the room, though it's hard to tell what it's connected to.
Okay. Where does it lead? Like, straight? Like, which direction?
Straight, but it fades out into the distance and you can't tell any further beyond that.
Like, this? This way?
Yeah, probably you can only see maybe like about 10 feet of link or so before it just blurs in with the colors.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna try to figure out any other ethereal links around as I go, so do let me know if we see any, okay?
Yes. Although Kion, while you're walking over, you do see that there's this area of pitch blackness right here inside the mouth of this green.
Yeah. That worries me because of in darkness it hides.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
Wait,
Mm,
wait,
Can I
pitch
go,
blackness where?
In
in
this
this
thing.
thing.
Oh, nice.
Aqua, can I break like a stick off of this or something?
Yeah, easily. You cracked.
I wanna poke the stick into the darkness.
Alright. You poke the stick in, nothing really reacts. As you take the stick out, you notice that the part of it you stuck in is completely gone.
Perhaps let us avoid the big darkness.
Wait, what if we toss Volange in there?
What? Seems a bit forward.
I mean, how long was the stick you poked in?
Longer
Well,
than
like,
this.
like 6 inches maybe?
Because I could do. Are there any like rocks around on the ground or anything? Like.
Yeah,
or
easily you
anything?
can see that there's plenty of like debris of the like.
Debris.
I could. Where is it? No, not that. Where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, I could use the magical tinkering feature to like give like, I don't know, like a little pebble or something like that, be able to just shine light in a 5-foot radius and like just toss it in and see what happens.
I feel like something that's not visual would work better.
What do you mean,
Like,
not
if-
visual?
I mean, if it's completely destroying what goes inside, then like if it was a smell, for example, then the smell instantly disappearing would like tell us that like it's instantly being destroyed or teleported, I guess.
That is what I was going to say. The
Okay.
two things here is probably destruction and or teleportation. Does it reek of magic at all? I'm not good at identifying such things. I mean, what school of magic? I would assume this is magical.
Do you have detect magic of any kind going on? From anyone?
Wand. Harry's got a wand
I
detect
think
magic.
Harry's got a wand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Harry can attempt to use the wand to detect magic. And as they do, they detect evocation magic from whatever is inside of that.
Yeah, it's make things go boom. School.
So
Well,
does Harry
Probably
detect,
destruction.
so does Harry detect anything on the other side of that window?
No, the window doesn't seem to be exquisitely magical.
Okay, I
Oh,
wasn't sure if anything on the other
centigrade
side of the window did.
transmutation.
What?
I just looked up the centigrade because I thought that was like probably the closest equivalent to a spell, and that's actually transmutation, not evocation.
Yeah, it turns you from body into dust.
Exactly. I cast spell flesh to dust.
Belinda finishes off with the ritual. It seems to be tiny spider venom.
It's
Oh, what the
probably
fuck?
not
Tiny
important.
thing.
Oh wait,
Ah,
tiny. There's no way like it has like a shrinking effect, right?
Was it
No.
tiny spider poison or Was it?
Tiny spider venom is what they said.
Would I know anything about that with nature proficiency or nah?
Yeah, tiny spider venom. It's like one of the least poisonous spider venom varieties you could find. It probably deals like 1d4 poison damage.
This third trap is nothing. Which means there's something else here more dangerous.
Yeah,
But I do guess.
I think it's a ruse to try and make you lower your guard or something.
I wouldn't put it past them. You have some familiarity with the Tomb of Horrors, I believe.
A little bit.
Some of those will help us.
It feels kind of like the trap itself might be a key to a future trap, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, just
Perhaps.
That's possible.
I will put it in my. I actually have 3 bags of holding, so like, I was
one of them is
one
sand.
for personal. Yeah, one of them was just for personal items. The other one is with sand, and the other one was for the.
Hey, I nearly had.
Items.
I nearly bought a
the shit I
second
was
bag
holding.
holding just to fill it with holy water. So.
I'm just imagining you carrying on 45 pounds worth of bags to fight in. Like, damn.
Yeah. I gotta have my transportable sand. Transportable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright,
Are we
should
going
we check
to
out
investigate to the right?
That is what I was going to say. I think it probably would be wise.
Yeah, cool. What happens if I try to put a mage hand in the black?
Alright. You go and put a mage hand into it. You try to recall it, but the mage hand is gone.
I mean, it's clearly destroying a. What are they called? Like force constructs? I don't remember what the name for it is.
Oh.
What is?
I do not know.
Do your hands have like a range at which they like dissipate or something like that if they go too far away?
Yeah.
60 feet, yeah.
So it still could just be teleporting. We don't necessarily know that it's being destroyed.
Well, what
True.
school is teleport? It's conjuration. Which is not evocation.
Let us take a peek to the right.
Yeah.
I think it is probably safe to avoid this thingy.
I will note, Aqua, that I will be applying my auras to Valindra until I say otherwise.
Alright. You take a look over to the right. As you approach over to the awning, here's what you see. Looking down, it looks like this.
That's Pog.
At the very bottom, you can see a hole that gapes into the ground below. There seems to be like 4 statues down there. Of some sort, and there seem to be multiple floors leading down to that part. Of note is that on the floor beneath, it seems that there is a plaque, very reminiscent of the one that you found on the obelisk earlier. You see that there are some words on common, but they're kind of hard to read from this distance.
Should we perhaps head down there?
I mean, I can fly over there and try to read the plaque.
Sure, why do you not take a look-see?
Where is this plaque exactly? Oops.
It's like on the floor right beneath this one, right? You see how there's like this floor right here? That's where it is. Oh, whoops. I misspelled. Yeah, you find it, and this is what it says, in common. The ring is a path to another tomb. The dead abhor sunlight. Only a jewel can tame the frog. Thou as the dead god atoned, into darkness descend.
I hate this.
I love this.
I wonder if these messages, I wonder if only some of them are relevant and others are just, you know, red
Something
herrings,
like,
or
you know, the ring and the jewel.
For there to be straw for like the needles to be hidden within.
The
yeah,
ring
because
could be referring to Kubsen's ring, and the jewel could be the Jewels of Wonder, if they're related at all.
maybe. Well, the reason I was saying this thing is maybe because we had those messages at the beginning on the obelisk, and none of those have been relevant yet. obviously yet being the key word. But if
I
they
will
continue
note
to not
that,
be relevant, it might just be like there are some fake messages.
the god items didn't come from the shrines, right? They came from the snake thing.
Correct.
So like you could have gotten here with all the cubes without any of those items.
That's true.
Yes,
True.
it is probably
Well,
true.
you could have in the vague sense of it would be very strange in our campaign, but yes. Since it was a very pivotal, like not pivotal, but like a focal point of part of that campaign. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm not sure if like these items are like technically required. They're just
That's fair.
strong.
That's a good point.
So
Looking
there's,
at look. Do you have dark vision, Jordan?
60 foot.
Checking something. Hold on. Yeah, it's kind of dark.
I mean, Saga's got better eyes than any of us. If she wants to come over.
Yes, I'll look. Sorry. I actually was gonna say I was gonna go over there, but then I got distracted.
Nice.
Sounds like Saga.
Yes.
Look, in her defense, there was a really cool rock.
Yeah, I collected it. I picked up a rock.
So you're
People
looking
go,
at.
like, Saga, are you gonna look that she's just biting a rock? Yeah.
So,
Puts
so you're
it
just
in.
looking down from right there. There on the floor beneath over here, there is another plaque around where the purple plants are.
Actually, Aqua, I'm gonna try to see if I can see beyond this now since I'm closer.
You look and you can vaguely make out that there's a room beyond there, but it's like there are as you can see here, there seems to be. Let me actually read what that is. That might be a better thing. Actually, hold on. A giant stone skull crusted with moss juts out from the end of that passageway. A flame flickers within each of its eye sockets, and a view into a chamber beyond can be seen through its open jaws. So, what you can see through its open jaws, which aren't very large, is a room that looks like this.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
got flames in
vaguely
the
see
eyes.
through the bars, too.
Wait.
It's got flames in the eyes, right? You said.
Yes, I'll even represent them by drawing those flames accordingly.
That means this skull can probably see. So, don the mask or be seen might be relevant to that.
what
Yeah.
mask?
There was a mask over in the room on the left, right? The one that we could pass the portal, we think.
I posted the text for that room.
Yeah, each
in the
corpse
chat.
wears a black mask made of paper mache and feathers.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is where the thing is, the thing to kill liches, whatever the fuck it's called.
I mean,
What?
there
Why
isn't
does it-
anything special that kills liches.
Phylactery?
It's just a matter of destroying the phylactery and then them. Or
If
vice
there
versa.
was, why would there be a lich killing thing in a lich tomb?
And keeping a phylactery in the first spot inside of a tomb seems like a very poor life choice. Or death choice in this case.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I'm guessing that you just get disintegrated as soon as you start like step here without the masks, and the mask's key is somewhere at the bottom of this.
I'm going to
tomb,
assume
so-
Saga told us about the other plaque, and I'm gonna fly, like, carefully to look at that.
Yeah, as you get closer, it becomes clear that this area here, on the third floor below, is covered in this awful purple growth everywhere. I can give you a better view of it by bringing you to that floor. Give me a second.
I am flying, so I am definitely not touching this if I can help it.
Yes, you do your best to make sure you don't touch it while looking over at the plaque that's right there. Let me go ahead and... One moment. Okay, there we go. And you are Jordan. Let me bring you back.
I like where Azel and Kian are.
Yeah, they're not
Oh.
playing.
Go for it. I'm gonna go for it when it's necessary.
You can see the plaque that's right there.
I need my tiger.
This is
All
so
the pretty
good.
purple.
Because I'm flying on them, I can't fly myself.
Alright, you take a look. The description for these plants that are all around this area here are as follows. Let me get the description.
These remind me of something.
Purple. These almost look like mold. They smell like rotting corpses, and as you're approaching, you see that they release a little puff of what seems like some kind of harmless spores. They're alien-like. Tiny eyeballs emerge from the mold and are looking at you.
I didn't like them before the eyes were looking at me. I'm gonna.
You can read the plaque from that distance, though, without getting any closer.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that.
Because it says the following.
Walk through water with weapon in hand. Slake your shadow at the font. The vulture is the first step right to the god. The walls of history tell all. Huh? Look, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I made Saga be like a brilliant dungeon delver, but I'm not very good at puzzles.
I mean, this isn't exactly a standard dungeon.
Are you flying back up, or are you staying there?
I will be flying back up to tell them about this plaque and about the fucking eyeball fucking things. Eyeball mold. That's shit's creepy. Slake your shadow at the font. Like, I think font refers to like a source of water. I don't know how you would slake your shadow though.
Aqua, does this look like it could be movable, perhaps?
Would you like to try?
Yes, I will go over there.
You put some muscle into it. It is secure tight, and seems to be made out of the same material that the walls around here are.
As in, like, magically reinforced.
Yeah. Valendra's actually about to try testing something.
Okay.
You see them cast Dimension Door, and they just pop right here.
Yeah,
Well, it seems you can't teleport past them either.
You probably
that's to be
can't find
expected.
through them either.
I've been attempting to cast Sending to talk to those outside, and have been receiving no response. I believe that's accurate. Either nothing can go in, or nothing can go out, or both.
I mean, I've got the, what is it? The thing that lets me cast Sending at will, the Amulet of the Sender. I could try casting Sending to someone who we was pretty sure is alive. Because we were not so sure about her revenue. So, I guess I'll try sending out of Sending.
Sent.
No reply. You're ghosted.
Nothing.
Yeah, I figured.
Always send 2. That 5% chance will get you.
Alright, I'll follow her advice and send a second.
Nothing.
I mean, that's only a 1 in
Alright.
400.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I will very quickly go down these stairs.
Oh, you can see up this hallway here too. Give me a second.
I'm gonna like send a third Sending, like just in case, because this is at will. So.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me check over here again. Checking for traps and ethereal stuff. On the way.
180 feet, huh? That dark vision's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
You can see all the way to the end of this hallway.
Delver gives me like so much of it. I already had other sources of dark vision too.
You can see over there. It appears to be the
I'll go to it.
following.
I'm gonna follow after Saga so she doesn't get like murdered alone.
Murdered? Don't worry, I'll be fine. I'm actively dodging at all times.
Because she can do that now.
Yes.
I don't know if you'd be waiting up for me at all, so I don't know how far back I should be.
No, I probably am just like walking because I'm making investigation. Like I'm investigating as I'm walking, so I'm walking pretty slowly.
Alright, give me a second. You're right here. Just a moment. So I can get the description of this room.
Sorry, I'm back now. I had to talk to my mom.
Welcome back.
You are okay.
We are still
Over here.
I'm okay. Oh,
Over here, what you see is the following. A rusting statue of a knight stands at the west end of this hall, gripping a large iron sword. Shards and flakes of rusted metal cover the floor around the statue's feet.
Okay.
It is outside of... You're looking for an ethereal link on it, but it is outside of your vision range of your true sight.
I'll go here. I'll go here.
As you get to right here,
Yeah.
something begins to happen. You feel an incredibly powerful gravitational force dragging you over toward it. Make a strength saving throw.
I can't get dragged.
She is dodging while she's on the ground, so
Yeah. During
Alright,
that
you
instance.
you hold firm as you feel it trying to tug you over closer toward it. But it fails.
Okay.
Is everything alright in there?
Yeah, I don't think you should walk any closer.
Hmm?
My feet are solid on the ground, and it's trying to pull me towards this thing. Probably to kill me.
I see. And here I was about to mention how it seems rather sad that it is in such disrepair.
Yeah, I think that's because of the murdering it's been doing. I'll walk.
Did you not say it was trying to murder you? Why are you getting
Yes,
closer?
but it's not. It can't like pull me. It can pull you. I'll walk over here to see ethereal links.
Right? There don't seem to be any.
What about here? What do I see in this hallway? It looks like
Here?
an opening, anyways. Oh shit! Is there anything at the end of this?
No. Would you like to approach and look?
I will approach like up to. Yeah,
Right?
here, 10
Yeah.
feet off of it.
Yeah, you look closely at this wall. You think that if you look closely at the very top of that section of the wall, it looks like it could be maybe maneuvered.
Oh, okay. What about
As in,
the other
like-
side?
Over on the other side, here's what you see.
what does that mean? Like, as if she could walk up the wall, she could go over it?
It looks like it could be slid at the top in some fashion. Over to the north, you see a water fountain.
Okay. I will approach this a little bit closer to see, like, is there anything that could, that looks like a trap or
I'm gonna hang out with all of you. What?
or something like dangerous
Greetings.
if I were to touch this door?
No, nothing seems to be out of the ordinary.
Okay. Should I try it?
I mean, you could. It is a little risky because of apparently gravitational pull. That is.
I will leave the decision up to you. I don't know.
If you get into trouble, I will come to try to assist.
Okay. What I will do instead, I will like take a note of this and go the other side of the hallway to look at what's over here.
Alright, looking inside of this area here, you see the following.
Okay.
A large fountain crusted with moss rises in the middle of a circular room. 3 marble maidens stand in the fountain holding pitchers out of which water flows.
Is there any ethereal links or traps?
Nothing that seems to be there, no.
Nothing that seems to be there. Okay. I'll like investigate closely with the eyes of minutae to see if I can see anything here.
Let me check something. You inspect closely. This fountain's quite nice. The water looks clear, very clear. The water seemingly never ends out of the pitchers of water that these little maiden statues are pouring out all the time.
This might be a little bit of a stretch, but with tremor sense, can I tell which direction the water is coming from? Like under the fountain?
sensing quickly, it seems like it goes down.
Just down? There's no
Down.
directions elsewhere? Okay.
Don't you... down. Down into the right. That's what it was.
This way?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's the source of this river. Right? Somewhere around here.
I mean, it could be further to the right.
Well, I can only check 60 feet from where I'm standing, so this is about the point where I would check for tremor sense.
A bit less because it is, at an angle, but yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I will go ahead and kind of like go back to the squad and ask them what they wanted to do. Just by like first I'll explain. I saw a fountain. There was not much about the fountain, but there was like a slit that I could possibly get into this room. On the other side, and there's also this magnetic thing that was trying to pull me in, but thankfully, my super glue feet made me stay in place.
Super glue feet. It is a new term.
So, what do you guys want to do?
I was
Explore
thinking
down
I
here,
would
or-
explore.
Well,
It looks like there's like a fucking. Give me the ruler. There's something. It looks like there's something over there. I was thinking of
Yeah.
flying over there.
See, the thing is, I'm a little scared of approaching this area.
Yeah, like I was planning on going like.
Yeah, if you want to fly to it, go ahead, but I feel like I need to be there. Actually, is this a wall?
You could just
Yes,
run along.
that's wall.
Yeah, I could just run along the wall. I'll go over there.
Well, someone
Okay.
should go with you over this way since those two did. I'll be your +2.
Okay.
Alright, you walk and you look down, and here's what you see. Oh, quite a bit far.
Sararak is just chilling barely off screen. Ooh, this looks
Oh
like a
god,
fun room.
that is not pleasant. What is this? Like a
It's a
fan?
food process. I mean,
Somewhat, yes, actually. What you see here is a carved bird soar across the walls of this corridor. Blocking the passage near its northern end is a large adamantine propeller with 5 sharp blades. There is
Oh,
blood
God.
everywhere.
I missed before the 5 sharp blades with blood everywhere.
Carved birds soar across the walls of this corridor. Blocking the passage near its northern end is a large adamantine propeller with 5 sharp blades.
What kind of bird? Is it a vulture, perhaps?
No, they appear to be parrots.
Okay.
that's even worse.
I mean, it says the vulture is the first step.
Alright, over to here, at the very end, you see that there seems to be some kind of chest right there. This one, if you're looking at it from a distance, appears to be made out of rusty iron.
I mean, I'm disinclined to open any chest in here, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think I want to. Wait, wasn't there a way for us to
Go
like
back
check
down
if
here.
something's mimic?
Some spells can only be used on creatures and not objects. So, like, I think there's like a few cantrips that can be used as like mimic checkers that way. Yeah, like my primordial spark is an example of that, but it's only 60-foot range.
I think I could potentially look at with the fire eyes. Would I be able to see if there's some kind of like chakra flow in a chest?
They are too far away to be able to
Well, I
see
know,
anything.
but I'm saying if I was next to it or close to it, would see would this help? Hold on.
Theoretically. But
I
also,
think it's-
also you see that there are in fact material links from the propeller up to around a hallway area. Just generically around this area here.
Oh, okay. Do I see them? Like, are we crossing them? Or
No.
just like
You're a few
we're not
feet
gonna
away.
stop?
You're probably about 10 feet away.
Okay.
Like
So I'm
about
guessing
yay.
if we like go close to these links, we might.
And the propeller might extend if we get too close.
Yeah, I don't know. Would I
Alright.
be? Do I see some kind of like on and off switch nearby this thing?
You don't see a switch of any kind, no?
Okay. Is there a way that I could walk without actually, like, with acrobatics or something? Would it be, or dexterity? I don't fucking know what it would be, but would I be able to go in without touching the
The old laser
the
hallway.
ethereal? Yeah, the ethereal links. Can I spy movie my way through this? Is what I'm asking.
You can certainly try.
Okay, but I think Mark should try it because he's better at this.
Throw him into the
Kian.
fire.
You call out for Kion.
Kian.
I mean, Keon's got a fly speed thanks to the
Mark's
shield.
Dead.
Yeah.
Mark's dead.
I could. Okay, my acrobatics is a plus of 14. But I think he has like an insane acrobatics of like 50 or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Mine's +1.
Some rogue bullshit.
Mhm.
Yo, wait, +1 acrobatics gaming? Join
But
the
Barry
club, homie.
3. Oh my god.
He's dead.
I'm gonna
They
start
died.
beating the fuck out of him.
Crab rave.
Campaign.
Well,
At Kian. At
Oh,
Kian.
look, it's a fidget spinner.
well, if we're not going past the fidget spinner of doom,
How
we
did
could
I
try
roll
going
that?
down the stairs.
How did I roll that? I didn't try. Oh, I accidentally clicked this. I see.
What do you think that would happen if I like just threw a rock at it?
We could always try to go back in through that hall that you mentioned that could slide somewhere in it.
Well, there is still like one place we haven't tried at all, and it is like the bottom of these stairs.
I
That's
think that no
true.
matter where we go, we're eventually going to bump into some trouble.
That's true, but like, okay, what was the plaque that said what is first? It said something about water,
The
right?
vulture.
The vulture is the first step.
The other part, it said walk through water with weapon in hand.
You're gonna replace every W with a V?
I do that for
Walk
most of them,
through
yes.
water with weapon in hand. Sink your shadow at the font. The vulture is the first step. Write the gods. The wall of history tell all.
I feel like the walk through water with weapon in hand is just telling you that the water is dangerous. Be prepared. The fight
Yes.
thing.
So what I'm thinking to myself right now is we started at this hallway, right? We started here.
Yep.
The only place that we know of any water is here. So walk through water with weapon in hand, which means be prepared for this area.
I mean, that's walking over water, not through water. I feel like we would need to go downstairs, like, to find the water to walk through.
Well,
So what you're suggesting is
Aqua,
inspecting all the available rooms first and then deciding what to do.
Yeah, that would seem prudent.
yes, well, I would love to do that, except but Barry 3 is fucking AFK!
I mean, doesn't he have, like, a fucking wireless headset? He should be able to hear us.
Yeah.
Let us check downstairs then if we should check
He might be on a
everywhere.
phone call.
I will go ahead and do that.
Who uses phones?
Perhaps we should go by the not flying around quite so judiciously. Walking down the stairs might be the safest thing.
Yes,
checking
I'm
for
gonna
traffic,
walk.
of course.
I will walk, but I want to walk in such a way that I avoid all of these, which means I'm gonna actually walk on the walls instead of this.
I'm going to be avoiding this line of sight, and I'm just going to be going straight left before on flying.
I will walk down the stairs, Aqua, but I'm gonna be walking on the walls, like not touching anything on the stairs.
All right, setting up the marching order. What of your companions?
As long as I'm first and check for traps, I think everybody should come along.
I have every intention of coming along.
Good.
Bruno and Azelle, are you following right behind?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. You start heading down to the next floor below. Let me get the vision of the.
I will let my shield guardian go in front of me, just in case.
Alright.
Yeah, I suppose I'll try to keep my aura on Saga.
Alright.
Okay.
So yeah,
Give me-
take us down.
Give me just one moment. I have to. Where's this button I'm looking for? Ah, here it is. Okay.
Dude,
You head down to 4 below.
okay.
They don't see us.
Well.
Yeah,
we're getting
I kind of
played.
figured we were gonna get copy pasted.
Alright, on the wall. Is this from the upper floor?
No, that's your current floor.
Oh, okay. Alright, what do I see?
You look over to the upward area.
Oh god.
Oh my God,
Another
it's an
familiar
old man.
one looks over there. It looks very reminiscent of the one that was up on the floor earlier up, with the darkness in its mouth. This one also seems to have some kind of darkness inside of its mouth. And
What can we see of these?
I will tell you in just a moment. Let me read what this thing is first.
Okay.
Those look like zombies.
It's hard to tell, but I think they kind of look like mummies.
Well, what are mummies but zombies with bandages?
Basically the same thing, yeah. Usually they have like different weaknesses though, for some reason.
Where is this one? Ah. Okay. In the middle of this room seems to be the stone bas relief of a bearded devil face painted green. Forlorn cries echo from the black void of its gaping maw.
That
God,
might be the
poor
Doom's
Lord.
child. Maybe.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, maybe.
Let me go this way a little bit to see if there's anything else.
Doom Child
around
was
it.
also my nickname in high school.
The awful echoing cries of it, of the voices that you hear within, get louder as you approach, but you see the rest of the room that's right there.
Alright, I will let everybody know that there's some screaming children. Alright.
As you were looking around in that room too, you saw the walls and floors of the room were cracked and carved with images of terrified humanoids falling.
Falling.
Oh,
Okay.
I noticed that there was a tomb handout folder. I'm like, I should probably keep these plaques open so I don't forget them, but they're just right there. I don't have to
I've
have
been
everything
keeping
open.
them
Pog.
too.
Over
What?
here, you look over to the right. Unlike the other rooms, the one at the very end of this one seems to be brightly lit on the inside.
That room looks
Mm.
cheery.
What is this?
You see something that seems to extend out in two different directions, whereas over here, it looks like there's some kind of sunlight that is extending down from the ceiling and illuminating the entire room.
Alright, what's these hallways? I'm trying to put myself closer, but
You
This,
peek around both
map's
corners.
right on the grid.
oh god, what the fuck is this?
Here's what you see. At a four-way intersection, the corridors to north and south curve upward and out of sight with no rails or steps to allow them to be climbed. The corpse of a half-human, half-goat creature in robe sprawls 10 feet to the north. It grips a staff tipped with bronze goat head.
No way of climbing. That's a joke.
Yo, not the poor half man, half goat. He didn't do anything
Mr.
wrong, I swear.
Calmness, no.
Also, can I point out that Surak has some great design choices with this nice green and white marble, or green and white pattern tile
Bro,
here.
that's what you think. This is just a really big chessboard that somebody died in the middle of and they had to put a coffin
no.
there.
Oh no, it's a new chess piece.
Alright.
The coffin, it has mysterious rules.
make sure if there's any traps to let me know, like on the floor. Because I'm not walking on the floor, but everybody else is. I don't want them to get.
Yeah, as you were getting closer, you notice that there's a material link from what looks like to be the ceiling of that little area right here, with this coffin of sorts. I can read you what the description of this room says. Give me a moment.
Move
Yes,
back a
so
little.
I'll try to not squish people with my tiger.
What the heck?
Inside of this room, you
Sunlight.
see the following.
Oh my god, we have to do a mirror puzzle.
This room smells of wine. On a checkerboard marble floor, a gilded coffin sparkles in sunlight streaming down from the chamber's vaulted ceiling, which arches 12 feet overhead. 4 huge stone gargoyle heads, their mouths agape, protrude from the walls. Looking over at these gargoyles, their mouths appear to be filled with wine.
We should probably immediately backpedal.
Where's
Is
the
it-
ethereal link? Can you draw it, please?
I feel the dead abhor sunlight. I feel like that sunlight might be like the only thing keeping like something in that coffin, perhaps. And if we try to go past that certain ethereal thing, it might like maybe turn off the sunlight and then let it attack us.
Yes, I agree. That's why I wanted the ethereal link so I could go around it. Okay, what are these? Are they identical, like all of them?
Yes, they are exactly identical and they appear to be filled with wine.
Let's get turned. Wait, is Mark back?
No, that bitch.
Yes.
Yes, he's back.
What the fuck, Mark? We needed you. Saga
Yeah, they were
died
trying to
because of
send
you.
you into a
Black
That's
deadly
good.
hallway.
A food processor.
Yeah.
As rogues want to be.
Right.
Well, you have the best athletics or acrobatics, right?
Probably both.
Oh, not athletics, but acrobatics, yes.
What's
I mean,
your
you might also
acrobatics?
still have the best athletics.
Acrobatics is always pass. So, whatever
See?
that comes to.
This is why I wanted Mark to go in and not me with my 14, okay?
Sorry, I did not sleep very well last night and I passed out.
Yeah, I kinda had a
Understandable.
feeling.
I was
Should
yelling
we
at you.
yell? Or yell louder?
Unlike my checks, which are like this. 0 and 1.
Yo,
Alright.
gang.
My points are all
So,
in economist.
Do we have a plaque that says
accept
anything
athletics.
about wine currently?
No. We could look for another plaque before we do anything
I
with this
feel like
room.
we
Yeah, I
should come
think
back
so.
to this room.
Yeah, I think we should go back later.
Alright.
We should at least
march.
view all of our options.
Wait,
maybe
I'm
before
also
we
gonna
decide what
like.
to do first.
You said this is basically like a circle, right?
Yes, it curves upward and out of sight.
Okay, I'll go ahead and go upwards to see what's up.
Alright. You begin walking to the end of this hallway.
Is
You
it
all
good?
look. You're all looking over at Sagat's position, and then you don't see them anymore. That's because they're over here now, and you see that they're
Yeah.
currently walking upside down.
Alright, is there anything interesting around or?
Yes, you notice that you are on the ceiling and everybody else is on the floor.
Yes, that is quite interesting.
Yes.
Alright.
Yes.
Alright, I will let our lich friend know what was there.
Yes.
Where we
You
should
notice
go.
also that it's effortless to walk on the ceiling right now.
Wait, like right now, me?
Yes. You are still on the ceiling.
Wait, really?
I think the idea is that if any of us were to do that, we would be on the ceiling without monk bullshit.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck, friends.
I mean, we're not gonna fuck around with that just yet, I don't think.
Well, I feel like we kind of need
I have
to
a climbing
for
feat.
something.
I mean, we
You're-
still have
you're-
more to look at.
You're still
Yeah.
on just a wall over there, right, Saga?
Yeah, I'm just like
Actually, even
wall.
without that, I have the robe of the arachnid, so I can just walk along the wall and hang normally.
What
This is a
does-
plaque I read earlier, right?
No, actually, there's one plaque on on that floor at the very bottom that you couldn't see until now, and now that you're on the right side, when you look to the left, it's down there. You haven't read it yet. As for
And what
what's
about-
over here, looking right here, you see the following. 3 oval holes are carved into this stone door at human head height. As you approach a little closer, 3 humanoid heads stick out of the holes, each covered in putrid flesh and gnashing on an iron bit bolted to a chain brittle.
What?
I don't know what that means either.
Can you post it?
Is
Yes.
this a button? Or what is this thing?
That is the plaque.
Okay.
Oh,
You read that one already, however. The one you haven't read is all the way down there.
Yeah, well.
I presume I cannot see it. Like you can't see what it says.
You can't read it from this distance, but you can see that it's there.
Okay. I'll go over here. What are these?
They're the zombies that are mentioned right there. These 3 humanoid heads that are sticking out of the holes. They keep on trying to
like,
gnaw at you.
They're like, it's like the horse thing in the mouth.
Yeah. And they can't bite down on you because they got the little brittle in their mouth, but they're just like...
Hey, do you wanna kill them?
I mean,
Perhaps
no point
interested
just
in
yet.
Maybe showing them sunlight or something. Perhaps it makes them move away.
Hmm.
I do
Okay.
not know.
So, do you guys want to wait here? Because of this, we might not necessarily want to step on it.
I
Yep.
mean, we could try clearing it out.
Those plants, Aqua.
Okay.
Hmm?
How?
Is there? Do I
Fire?
recognize them at all? With nature proficiency, I'm not like a plant expert by any means, but
You think you would need expertise. These plants are unlike any you've ever heard about before. And
I
they seem
wouldn't
like
be
monster
surprised.
plants.
I would be
Unlike any
surprised if
I've
they were
heard of.
aberrations.
Do you want to set them on fire?
Possibly.
I feel like burning things as a first option is.
I mean, we could
Questionable.
freeze them. I would like
Okay,
that
how
more.
how about I just make a wall, or put us all on a sand and go on top of them.
Are they actually dangerous?
I don't know. Do you
No.
want to go find out?
That is by a
They were
question.
releasing spores earlier, and they were, had eyes that were looking at me earlier. So like they are capable of perceiving invaders, and they might react hostilely.
It would be nice if I was still able to speak to them, but I'm not currently. I use that
Melindra,
skill.
if you wanna go first, be my fucking guest. Clear it out for us, lady.
Does anyone have a way to communicate with them?
No.
I'll look at the plants. Just go.
Me
Greetings,
and my
plant.
girl don't
Do
argue.
you understand common?
The eyes are just looking at you from the plants. This purple moss of alien growth-like proportions.
I
They at
could
least-
theoretically commune with nature, but I don't think that works inside a dungeon. Not that I would actually cast the spell. So yeah, real helpful things I just said.
Alternatively, we just bypass this floor and just look at the one below it.
Weren't you the one who suggested not flying here?
Not excessively, just a small dip down as such.
I mean, alright.
I do have a broom, so I am capable.
I guess I could do
out.
the flying down and check the plaque then.
Alright. You go ahead and check that plaque that's there. Let me go ahead and reveal that floor to show you what you see. Oh,
Are you
sorry.
doing the thing where you move just me, or is everyone seeing this?
Everyone's seen it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, this is my fault. These should be here.
Oh, wait, what the fuck? What happened? I looked for like a second.
I flew down to check out the plaque, and this is what I'm seeing.
Are they
Yeah,
moving
so-
around?
No, I'm just placing them where they should be.
Oh, okay. I was like, bruh.
There we go. That seems
I
probably
do
correct.
believe I probably should be like here-ish.
Yeah, the plaque is right there.
Okay.
Here's what you see on this floor. First, on the plaque, which is what you mostly came down here for, you see death to fire, dine or drown, precious air and falling sand. The army sleeps in silence. The mirror holds 12. Find the iron scepter's twin. The maze holds the key.
That the fire died
died.
or drowned. Precious air and falling sand. The army sleeps in silence. The mirror holds 12. Find the iron scepter's twin and maze holds the key.
Looking over at this area around here, at the bottom of the grand staircase here, a resonant mechanical rumbling emanates from a dark shaft, opening up in the middle of this chamber's floor. 4 cylindrical stone pedestals surround the shaft, each 10 feet tall, 5 feet wide, and featuring a tiny slot in its side. Squatting atop each pedestal is a large 4-armed gargoyle.
Feels like a key room where we need to put keys in.
Oh, and as for what these tiles look like, each gargoyle is contained within a square made of metallic tiles embedded in the top of its pedestal. Starting with the northernmost pedestal and going clockwise, the tiles are copper, silver, gold, and platinum.
Okay, like the money. I could have said like the metallic dragons, but it wasn't the full set, so I went with the money.
Show me the money. You also see a bit more to the hallway to the left. A bit further, though not all the way down there.
I mean, is it pitch black?
Everywhere in this tomb is pitch black unless otherwise specified.
Okay. Well, I've got 60 foot, so I could theoretically see that, I suppose.
Yeah, you see a little bit on this hallway to the south. Not very far. And from that position, you can tell that there's a hallway to the right, but nothing more.
I mean, I suppose there's nothing immediately dangerous here, so I'll just go up and tell them of the plaque. Death to fire, dine, or drown.
Okay, so there seems to be like
Oh, that's like the 2 first lines are one thought.
yeah.
I'm not sure what it means, but they're related.
Let me look at the plaque again. Death to fire, dine or drown, precious air and falling sand.
I'm not sure if it's saying
Well,
like
no,
you will
what do you
die
think?
to those, or we should bring death to those.
I think that it's saying that we should bring death to fire by
So,
dining
Oh,
or drowning.
I've been thinking this whole time it's death to fire, dine, or drown, as in to all 3, but no, it's death to
No.
fire and then dine or drown.
Yes, because drowning would mean water, which would bring death to fire. But I don't know what dining means.
We can eat the fire. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
mean-
know. Precious air and falling sand. So I'm guessing it's just a way to escape some kind of fire.
Yeah, I mean, air would be considered precious to fire, and falling sand obviously could put out a fire.
Well,
Oh, that's what it's referring to. Dine as in fire dining on air, or drown as in fire drowning in sand.
dining on air?
Yeah, because air or fire needs oxygen to continue, and if that's why if a fire would quote unquote dine on air.
Oh, I see. Or oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, or drown in
It's
falling
kind of
sand.
like drowning, I suppose, if you cut off its oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And falling sand would kill fire.
but also it's the opposite for us because we need air. Well, like
why?
we would also drown without air. Well, you guys would. I wouldn't because I don't need to breathe.
Wow. You're looking about Saga also, and you notice that it seems that there is the walls on this spot right here seem a little bit off. It seems like a hidden passageway of sorts that look like it can be moved, but inspecting it quite thoroughly from this side, it doesn't seem openable from this direction.
So it's like
This door cannot be opened.
It's
a
a checkpoint,
backtrack
yeah,
spot.
literally.
Yo, we've got a shortcut if we need to go back to the bonfire.
Wow.
Okay. Are you sure about that? Like, can we do something about it? Can I go inside of the wall, for example?
Would you like to try?
you
Uh,
gotta note that your key is more precious than usual because short rests eat into our time limit.
Yes, true. But we could cast that spell we used earlier.
Pass wall.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if any spell could affect these walls.
Yeah, like dimension
Pass
doors
wall
works-
work. I don't think
Pass
the
wall
pass
pass wall
built-
works on natural surfaces. These are not natural.
Well, the thing is, it's that this part of the wall is not like the rest, so.
But that doesn't change the fact that pass wall works on natural surfaces like wood and stone.
like cliff sides, not
I
the
see.
dungeon
Okay.
wall.
Fuck. I could bring out my pet rock for Burrow, but I could also use my key for Burrow. And I don't know which one I want more.
If we get like a hint that relates to it, maybe we come back to it.
Yeah, I think just come back to it.
Then the only rooms left to check are the ones on the floor beneath with the moss, and I must admit my curiosity is getting the better of me on this. I will walk into them and see if anything happens.
Yeah, good idea.
Alright.
That came off as rude. My apologies.
I'm sorry, but we're a lot,
I will be ready in case anything happens.
Yeah, you see them slowly inching their way down.
And I
Give
keep
me a
having to
moment.
read my 2 tokens every time this happens.
How tall are the walls?
Hmm?
How tall
tall
are
are
the
these
walls? Yeah.
Everything is as tall as it is wide unless otherwise specified.
Okay, so how tall are the plants?
They extend from the floor all the way upward.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk on the ceiling.
You are already walking on the ceiling. Naturally. From now on, you have to specify that you're walking on the floor.
Okay, I'll walk on the ceiling. That's fine. What is this?
Give me a moment. I'm showing what's over to the left there.
Wee. Sorry.
You good?
Just excited that I'm upside down, man. I could do that the whole time, but you know now it's more exciting because I have to.
I cast
Alright.
Relief on the ceiling. I'm kidding.
Looking over to the left, what you see is the following. Let me go and get the description of this. There's a lot of text on these. Give me a second.
Okay, also, guys, I feel like we should just start fighting things as we see them. Because later it might be that we have to fight the zombies plus these things plus, like.
Alright,
I mean,
well,
the
the first
fight,
thing I,
that might
the
not
first thing
mean
I see
just
is
a
Kion,
fight,
so I'm
you
gonna
know?
fight Kion. I'm kidding.
You can try.
Alright. Right here, two hulking figures stand in alcoves along this long wall facing each other. Armors bolted to their flesh, they wear bucket helmets and spiked gauntlets. Iron collars around their necks are connected by a spiked chain that stretches across the corridor. I have a picture of what these fellas look like. They're kind of ugly.
You can't just say that about people, Aqua.
You know,
Yes, he can. And he will.
that's fair. But you may agree with me afterward.
Doubtful.
Is one of them holding a scepter?
No, neither of them is holding a scepter. They occasionally drip blood, though. It just kind of happens.
Yo, he's got chests on his chains. Or
It-
is that I can't tell if it's a
It
chest
looks
or a
like they're
padlock.
stitched together.
Kinda hard to tell.
Looking through, you can tell that this chain is very, very clearly magical. And additionally, you notice that there's ethereal links extending pretty much like as almost like a wall on both sides of this area right here, from the floor to the ceiling.
Okay.
They're attached to the
So-
chain.
Is there
Or not to the chain, sorry, to the guardians themselves, as they're called. Tomb Guardians is their
there
name.
like enough space for you to stand between these two?
What do you mean?
Should you?
Well, I have blink, so I could blink here, right? Like,
Well, it's an
if this-
ethereal link, so that link sends into the ethereal plane. So could you use Blink?
So, blink just teleports to like 5 feet, right?
No.
No, it teleports
that
into
is
the ethereal
not-
plane.
Yeah, you
It's
just
the
blink into
same
the ethereal
spot?
plane.
When you
not
return
flash.
back, you return within 5 feet of where you teleported from.
Yeah.
So, kind of.
I mean, 5 feet would just put you there. That doesn't really help you.
Well, I mean, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, like, is it, like, this? How like, big are these walls? Like,
They kind of wibble and wobble, and like within 5 feet of that spot there. But they're not like a perfect plane. It like wibbles sometimes on the inside, it wibbles sometimes on the outside. But they do extend from the floor to the ceiling.
But this one is straight, right?
Yes, that chain is connected between these tomb guardians, as they're called.
Could I blink twice in a row to try to get here?
You just blink like 4 times.
If you're looking
Yeah.
to teleport across a little bit more reliably, I have Dimension Door available.
Well, that might work. I don't have Dimension Doors. So do you want to Dimension Door me here?
Alright, then.
It would be putting you next to plants, and we haven't investigated them yet.
I'm on the ceiling though. Like,
How
can
about
avoid the
I
They
go
grow up
ceiling.
to the ceiling.
Maybe
Hold
go
on,
like
hold
here,
on.
a little bit farther away from the plants. I don't know.
I could simply walk into this plant over here before you teleport to see if they are safe.
That seems like a prudent decision.
Let us do this. Hold
I
on.
don't know if
I'm
you
just
want to
gonna
do
go
that.
walk up to this plant.
Alright, you walk over to the purple moss. As you approach, you see that it tries parting away, so that way you won't touch it.
Oh my god,
okay.
it's humanoid phobic.
If you do not wish for me to touch you, I will not. It seems to not enjoy the touch of people, so try not to touch it.
As long as it moves out of the way, that should mean we should probably teleport further away from it, but as long as it doesn't actively seek us out.
Let's
Does not
try
seem
it.
like this one does at the very least.
Alright,
Might
That's a good plan.
be-
Sorry for making you uncomfortable.
the purple moss regrows back to its original spot.
I wonder.
Alright,
Oh, but Valindra, do be careful with the plants, because I have a life force living, and I don't know how lichdom works with it.
this is true. We'll see how they interact with the undead. But if we don't have to intentionally test it, then let's not. If you're ready,
I'm ready.
dimension door over to here.
Alright, what's here?
Looking upward, what you see is the following. It's a little bit tough exactly to tell what there is inside of there, but it looks like there is a 4-column portico of sorts that juts out. You get closer into this room. Let me go ahead and reveal the entire room then.
Whoa.
Oh, that might be the
Brother.
new.
I just
Alright,
I
here's
just
what
said
you see.
sparkles.
A 4-column portico juts out from the far wall, beneath which a stone sarcophagus rests in a wall recess. 4 ceramic frog masks hang in niches around the sarcophagus. Beneath the masks, humanoid bones are strewn across the floor. To the east, a large carving of a tentacled frog monster squats above a shrine. Offerings lie on the shelf before it. 4 rectangular frescoes adorn the adjacent wall.
So what's a portico?
It's kind of like an overhang of sorts.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll investigate whatever this is first.
So,
That appears to be a large, that appears to be like a spot where offerings are made. As you're looking about,
Oh, like an altar?
this is like Kuba's.
Yes. That is in fact a frog behemoth. Yes, it looks like Kubazan.
There was something about a frog.
Yeah,
For some
you're
reason
right.
I can't open
Something
black
about
black
jewel.
Only a jewel can tame the frog. That's from the first plaque.
Oh well, I mean, Saga's so pretty. She pretty much is a jewel.
Okay.
Pretty cool, right, guys?
It's not
Nice.
actually. It's not Saga. It's Rose, and Rose just emanates beauty.
Okay,
Yeah,
dude.
Alright.
Thank you.
You're looking about. There are 4 frescoes, as mentioned, on the walls. 2 to the east and 2 to the west, and here's what they are in order. On the east side of the wall, you see the following. A frog-like behemoth uses its tentacles to help the moving people knock down a mighty statue. In the foreground, an old woman wearing a frog mask tosses 5 coins from her hand as though sowing seeds. You see the second fresco. A frog-like behemoth wraps its tentacles around a giant crocodile as a Moon hunter stab the crocodile with their spears. In the foreground, an old man wearing a frog mask holds a bug up to its open mouth. In the third fresco, a frog-like behemoth with 4 Omuan hunters riding on its back finds a small boy in the jungle. The hunters seem elated. In the foreground, a young woman wearing a frog mask holds a knife in one hand and a headless chicken in the other. And finally, fresco 4. A frog-like behemoth wallows in a shallow pool as Omuans offer it urns of food and treasure as tribute. Cracks in the fresco obscure the head of the human figure in the foreground, but you can see that it grasps a lit candle. As you look over at the shrine here, you see a number of empty bowls of sorts that look like they had previously contained various things, but no longer. The only thing that seems to have any kind of material is a small bowl that holds 4 dead cockroaches.
Are these like little lighter bits here candles at some point?
Yeah.
They are? Okay.
I mean, I thought so. I don't know.
Like,
Oh.
Because it looks like these are all candles here, and then some of them are lit on the sides.
Sorry, this map isn't perfect with the description, but yes, these will be candles then. Yes, those are all candles.
Okay.
Okay.
It's because this is a map that isn't the official module one, so there are very mild changes between it and the actual one. But
Okay.
this one looks a lot better than the original, so it's okay. Like, this map is so cool.
Skeletons.
Could you kind of show me with your ruler or drawing tool where number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are specifically?
Yes.
Right here?
They're kind of like
These 4 things on the wall? Or
No, looks like they're
as such. 1, 2, 3, 4 like that.
okay,
On
so
the
1,
on the floor?
2.
No, on the walls. A fresco is
Oh
on the
no,
wall.
I got it wrong, guys. Fuck, it was actually like this. Damn. Oh, it's like an hourglass. Fuck.
what is this on the floor? Is this like a knife or something?
Yes, it's like a knife.
No.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I can communicate telepathically with you guys, right?
I don't think so.
We aren't sure actually. We haven't tried to use like
telepathy.
any ways to telepathically communicate while just with each other inside the dungeon, right?
I don't think you have, no.
So.
I'll
Yeah.
ask
Although-
Valindra if
It's a
she
good idea.
could, like, do some magical shenanigans to make us talk to everyone else.
I do have telepathic bond. I'll have to cast it as a ritual again.
I mean,
We're not
I'm
that
assuming
far away.
both me and Valindra can cast Sending at will, so we could just use that to communicate in theory.
Also, Kion can talk to like one person, I think, right, with a telepathy.
Yeah.
You need sight though.
I'm assuming like
Oh,
our
okay.
sendings will work in here, but not out, and that's how that works. I could test it on someone in range real quick.
But somebody
I
like-
assume that you're yelling loud enough for them to hear you from over there.
Do we want to actually yell? Because I was gonna say we should
Well,
probably
okay,
be
really
quiet.
quick,
'cause of
an
these.
alternative is I teleport with Saga, and then the rest of you can teleport to me with the Shadow Talisman. And we could all be there. Or we can save them because we only have 7 per day.
I'm just gonna test Sending on Saga real quick.
Alright, you send the Saga. Saga, you hear nothing.
Okay.
Valindra will try to cast Sending and use it on Saga. Saga, you hear what they said. Testing, testing.
I guess it's sight range, or is sight then?
Well, it shouldn't be, but.
Oh,
I
it's probably
think
because
maybe-
the spell is trying to go through one of these walls. That's why.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Well,
could
maybe,
be it.
or maybe this chain is actually like a wall.
I'll
Wait,
test
you're
it
telling me-
on Kion.
Aqua did say, I think, that these the purple bits are extending all the way up to the ceiling, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
in the
they're a
ethereal plane.
wall.
In the
They're
ethereal plane.
ethereal walls.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think we could definitely try using the Shadow Talismans to teleport if we want.
I mean, she's got unlimited dimension dork. I'm pretty sure that's one of her signature spells, so she could taxi us at no charge, really.
Well, that's fine. The problem is like I want to. I guess I'm gonna step out of the room here to where I can. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna tell Valindra to try to say, to do Sending on somebody she can see right now, like
Huh?
just
Like,
from here to here, to see if this is the reason why it's blocked or it's because it's trying to go like that.
Well, Valindra goes ahead and casts Sending over toward Jordan. Testing, 1, 2. Testing again. Using up as many words as I can.
Sending received.
Jordan receives the sending with no issue.
Yep, and I sent that
Okay.
well 2-word response back.
Then I guess it's this wall, yeah. The walls don't
Yeah.
allow
Wait, so you're telling me that this magic that you guys are all crazy about, it can't figure out that it could go straight and then take a right?
Yes,
Yep.
apparently.
This is incredibly silly. That surely you could make that work.
So let's not worry about that right now, but instead
I
let's
mean, you probably
communicate.
could, but it would require like a less efficient version of the spell, which no one's made because it's less efficient.
Do we wanna? I'm gonna ask Villager. Do you want to go back to the team and see what they say about what we should do with the Froghemoth?
Dimension door.
All right.
Let us check out the other hallways in this area. I count
We
2.
should probably retrieve our Ganassi before we continue, though.
What? I'm here.
Hmm?
Wait, did she bring her? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought
Literally
she
right
just went
next to
just by
us.
herself. It's okay.
Oh,
I'm blind.
Sorry, there was one last thing over here. You notice there was another wall that seems like it can be opened, but not from this direction.
Alright.
Another checkpoint.
Where's really quick, in case I didn't mention it before, I did make all of my Shadow Talismans, so I still have 2 left if Harry and, like, I don't know, Mirage want one, just in case.
This is the 1d4 on saving throws.
And the teleporting, yeah.
So like we could just teleport straight to you.
Yeah, 7 times per
It's-
day, you can teleport, anyone can teleport to me, as long as we're on the same plane of existence.
It probably gets blocked by these too.
Possibly?
Yeah, like Dimension Door doesn't go through it.
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind.
But I mean, I can give one to Harry and Mirage if they want. I'm not gonna give one to Belinda, but...
I already added to Harry's sheet when you first mentioned it, so I thought
you
he
did?
already had one.
Okay. I don't
We don't
couldn't
actually have
remember if I had
room
one.
for items on Mirages.
I I mean, you could just keep track of it on your sheet. I don't know. It's just seven times per day.
When you fail a
teleporting.
save.
Yeah, failing a save, you can add 1d4 and teleporting to me.
Alright,
7
I'll
times
put
per day.
a talisman mirage on here.
Yeah.
Wait,
You
is
get
the like
7 of each.
okay? So now I need double the things for it.
Yeah, they're not. It's not a total charges for any of them. It's they all have their own separate charges.
Linda walks toward the moss and it also parts away. It seems they don't like the undead either.
I'll walk
What
up
about
on this
what about
feeling.
I was gonna say, what about a construct?
I think it's universal.
It's worth investigating.
Yeah.
Perhaps
They'll-
it just does not like to be touched. I've
Well,
met
see,
people like that, so I
Does
would
it
not be
react if
surprised.
the shield guardian walks up?
No, the shield guardian just kind of moves past it, just like pushing them aside. The moss.
Strange.
Okay.
It's
So
interesting.
they react to some kind of life force, I guess, or
Then
something.
how does-
Undead is a twisted mockery of life, I guess.
How does lichdom work exactly?
Depends on how interested and in depth you want the process to go.
I'm fairly interested in such things.
They have a casual, nice conversation about how lichdom works, including the elixir that has to be required for it, the sacrifices that have to be made, the magical requirements for it, the saving throws associated with having to survive the process. As Saga investigates further.
I'm gonna test if they react to Mirage specifically, who is a celestial who doesn't like breathe.
Yes, they move out of the way of Mirage.
Okay.
Over here, what you see is the following. This is... Let me get the description. Over in this hallway, a huge carving of a snarling jackal's head protrudes from the wall at the end of this corridor. A chamber is visible through the gaps between its fangs.
I don't remember anything about a jackal or fangs. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in the plaques. Sheesh. I wonder if there's been a plaque on like every floor of this staircase, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But it does look like you can vaguely make out a room beyond the fangs of this jackal. Let me actually go ahead and even slightly reveal
Theories.
that.
Someone could misty step through that.
What?
Yeah.
But I'd rather not do that just yet. I wonder, like, if like the bottom of the pit is like considered a floor and there's a plaque down there.
I could go check.
Seems unnecessarily risky for now.
I mean, I wasn't.
I
gonna
mean,
jump
it's
down.
not risky at all for me. I just walk down.
Those gargoyles surrounding that pit are...
That's true. That's true. The gargoyles may be risky. Maybe Mark should go. He's stealthy boy.
Besides, it is.
Yeah.
There are more ways for traps to trigger than just the ones we can see.
Mark is like the guinea pig. You want to send him through all the traps first. To see
No,
what
he has rogue bullshit. Okay, he
I don't wanna hear that
deserves
from
to
monk
go and
bullshit.
make checks.
deserves
I
it.
know. I started calling it rogue bullshit now because fuck you.
I have been referring to some things in private as rogue bullshit, so you're not alone in that.
Exactly.
There's one last hallway to be seen down there. As you
Oh, I
take a
didn't
look,
even notice that.
Oh,
you see
yeah,
that
I'll
it
go
juts
over
out into two directions.
there. I'll go over there.
You look to the left.
To the left, to the left.
Hey,
What
wait,
you
to
see
the
is the
right, to
following.
right.
In that spot right there, what you see is
180 feet.
There seems to be like a small crawl space of sorts right here. You're sure that somebody could probably crawl through and fit into there.
Can
Wouldn't
I
be easy.
try? Or would it be somebody smaller?
Would you like to look through and see
Around
what's
it.
inside first?
Yeah, I'll look.
You look in and you see that it curves to the left, out of sight.
Oh shit.
As
Maybe
much
here?
as I hate to offer, Bruno is small.
I mean, we
You
could
could
try
fit
like.
through.
I mean, we could try like feeling the walls with the mage hands. That's just classic.
That's true.
True.
Before
Alright,
we do that, why don't we look in this direction?
Yeah, I already
Okay,
did.
okay.
Oh, you got it.
I feel like
Waiting
my
for it to load in.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
my
just
bad.
like one at a time.
There's
Does
a jump
anything-
error.
happen if my shield guardian starts making its way through the plants over towards us?
Weird.
No, it just kind of brushes past the plants, which just kind of,
Okay.
you know,
I
Brush
can
past.
climb along the walls like Saga since I have a climbing speed and the robe of the Arachnida. Or the
Mhm.
cloak of the Arachnida. I can do the same thing.
over to the right, the area there is actually a bit more illuminated than usual.
Oh, it's green. I'm wondering.
I think
Okay,
that's
I'm
green.
gonna let Kyon check with mage hands and go over there to see what's going on here.
Sure.
Alright, in order then. Kyon, are you checking the inside of this with your mage hands?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, you get a feel for what it's like right here. And you can feel something right there. Some kind of structure of sorts.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
You're not quite sure what it is outside of like the general feeling of it right there. And I think the most you can feel out with your mage hand is about right there before they're out of your range. Without actively crawling in yourself, that is.
Would you like me to crawl in?
Can you
I
fit
can-
in? I know I can fit in, but can medium creatures?
Yes,
fit in?
a medium creature would be able to fit inside of here. Also, it would be like a little cramped.
After
It's
all,
up to you. You can,
I
you can
mean-
go in or I can go in. I'm
I'm not
fine
sure
either
if your talents should be risked so easily, Commander.
I
way.
mean, that's like pointing towards the.
I could also go in because I do have I have a way of getting out of Earth. Like
I mean, mouths have been dangerous. We've seen so far.
That is fair.
do you
But
wanna
also,
go in?
Round.
you also may want to test out your ability to burrow through this earth whenever it's prudent. Knowing what we're
That's
capable of here might be wise.
That is true.
Okay, in that case, I will just go ahead and crawl in and see if I can burrow out. Later if you get stuck or something.
Scream if you
What?
need help. I will come in as quick as I can.
Can I
Based
see
on-
it? Is it like a hallway or?
You can see it now. You got the description of what it was from Kyon, right? You vaguely got that description. And now you see, ahead of you, the face of a snarling minotaur is etched into a sheet of iron that bisects the crawlway. Its eyes have been cut out, letting you see through the sheet, beyond which the tunnel continues onward.
Is it like those fiery eyes that all the other stuff has?
No, but you can tell that there's an ethereal link that seems to link it with, some boundary from this to things that cross it. It very clearly looks like a trap.
Okay.
She's
Where-
got the
What do I
dark
see?
sight to see through there, right?
Yeah, what do I see?
Oh yes, to the other side.
Yeah.
You see that there's a bend in it this direction.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna crawl out. And I told them it's a trap.
Be one
Okay.
that we bypassed later, but we can keep searching.
Yeah.
Yes, now,
I will try to find an indent in this wall, like the ones that we found earlier.
Yes, looking through, you find nothing.
Okay. In that case, I'll go on the other side and check what's going on here.
Looking over to the spot over here, here's what you see.
Did we move Kiana and Azal with us? Is that water?
Yes, this is water.
Oh my god.
The wield walk
look.
through water with weapon in hand might refer specifically to one of these weapons.
Yeah.
Still puddles of water cover the floor of this 30-foot wide hallway. The walls are slick with moisture and set with murals showing animal-headed humanoids in armor, most of which appear to brandish real weapons hanging on the walls. A 3-foot-high hallway in the east wall is flush with the floor. At the far end of the hall, a rippling transparent curtain of water fills a stone archway. Beyond the curtain, you see another hallway that looks similar to the one in which you stand. As for the actual figures, they are as follows: a frog, a goat, a hawk, a panther, a lizard, and a stork.
Still no vulture.
What about the other side? Or is it the same ones?
I was about to say, like,
Mirror,
are
right?
the weapons on the other side the same?
You look over at them, and it is, in fact, identical as such.
Is that the other side? Or oh,
That is the other side.
okay.
Well, should we try
So,
to
do you
take
guys
one of the
remember?
weapons?
Oh yes, you can look down in this crawl space, I believe. Looking down, here's what you see. It
So,
extends all the way to the end where there's a vent on the other end.
So I'll go in.
Is like, are the ones next to, like, in front of the panther, are those like clubs, or is it just empty? Like, that's obviously a mace, that's obviously an axe, what is this? Is this a club?
It is in order. Let me find what it was. Give me a second. In order from bottom to top, it is these. Hand axe, mace, blowgun, unarmed, sickles, and tridents.
I'm
Hello.
gonna be the panther. Wait,
Looking over here,
panther?
Saga, you see that this crawl space extends as such past into some kind of room.
Is this does this look like a trap or?
You see nothing of the sort, there or otherwise.
Okay, I'll go in.
Looking around, you check over around the room to see if there's anything of note, and there does appear to be something. Digging through some of the cobwebs, you find what appears to be a purple crystal eye. It looks like an eye with eye stalk and everything, except it's crystal.
And detached.
Yep, it is not attached to anything. It's just some
Did
kind
you
of
say
crystal.
it's an eye stalk?
It has the eye and like the tendril that's attached to the eye and everything. The eye stalk.
So it, like, if we were to find like an Unk statue, it might fit on it.
I'm gonna take it.
You know, eye stalk is maybe not the right word for that. What is that little tendril that's attached to your eye called?
Oh, you mean like
Like the little tail.
I know
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
talking about, I don't know what the name
Tail.
is.
It's an eye tail, you know?
That's cursed. I love that. The eye
That is
tail.
cursed.
I'm just imagining
will-
them swimming through water with it,
I don't need to swim, I'm on the ceiling.
like a.
It's
tadpole,
like the optic
you know?
nerve, I think it's what it's called.
No, I meant
Yeah.
the eye itself, swimming with the tail in water.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, that's probably
I'll
the best way of
take
calling it.
If there's like nothing else around it, I'm literally just gonna
Yeah.
grab some
The optic nerve
sand
is
and
part of it,
put
but
it in a sandbox.
I think it's called the fovea.
Hmm.
What I'm looking at is right. It says a depression in the retina that contains. No, it doesn't sound right either. I can't tell from this image, honestly.
That is a little unclear, isn't it? You look through, and there is still one more bend in the little crawl space here.
It's literally just called an optic nerve.
It's nerve. I
Yeah,
like
it's
tail
an
better.
optic nerve.
The nerve of it.
Aqua and I both make a shitty joke at the same time. Good job,
Nice.
Aqua.
Nice. Alright.
I'll go.
There- nobody
continue
laughed.
This hallway.
Zero or two.
I'll put it in my backpack, not in the
Yeah,
bag
you-
I'm holding.
You look and you see that there's some kind of red statue there, and you can kind of see into the other room above beyond, but the red statue is kind of blocking your view. You think you'd have to be on the other side of the crawl space to get a better angle?
Is
Oh,
that a
good.
dragon?
Boy, I hope not. I'm here alone.
This room is a bit
Oh,
better
God.
lit than some of the other
Yo,
rooms
this room's
thus far.
Hog.
I literally could just walk all across.
What the hell is that?
It's like some kind of demon, I think, the statue.
What is this?
Let me go.
Can you tell?
Let me go ahead and describe what you find inside of this room.
Everyone's like, where the fuck did Saga go? It's a little hall.
There's a
Two
lever
balcony-
inside.
Two balconies face each other over a vast pit. Between the balconies hover 5 wooden platforms, each one a disc 10 feet across.
That's a crap.
A single torch burns above each balcony. On the east balcony stands a rough-hewn, 15-foot tall statue of a hulking fiend with furled wings and clenched fists. Set into the wall on the west balcony is a rusty lever in the up position.
That's a lot of fancy ways to say crab.
You can see that these floating discs are hovering quite a bit above the floor. It looks like it might even go 200 feet down by the looks of it.
You said on the floating disc, like on top of the floating disc, there is a light.
Yes, a single
torch?
church burns above each. No, on each balcony there is a floating torch.
Like,
but these,
is it on it or like above it on the ceiling?
it's just right there. For example, see, it's right there, just attached to the wall.
Okay. And what is the statue of?
It is a
A
hulking fiend.
with wings.
Hulking the fiend.
A hulking fiend.
Okay, how
I can see it
far
now.
up does this like wall go?
This
Not
wall
down,
goes
but up.
upwards about another 50 feet above the balconies, so a total of 250 feet. 200 down below those floating platforms and 50 feet above them.
Okay, I'm just gonna like go at the edge here and start walking it. Like,
You begin walking on the wall and notice that there is a wall of force that seems to be preventing you from getting any closer.
oh,
It matches up with the edges of the balcony here.
Yeah, I mean,
Alright.
you probably could do those jumps, but we don't know if there's anything that happens once you start jumping.
probably have to be quick. But also, I could just like fly, so it's not that big a deal. Like fall damage is also like a non-factor because
I mean, it probably is not just fall damage.
yeah, fair enough. Does it look like I could like jump over it?
You're trying, but there's wall of force extends from the balcony all the way up to the ceiling.
Oh, as in like the entirety of the
Okay.
like.
As such, yes.
Okay, so you can't do anything right now,
Yeah. Okay.
unless you try to do something with a statue, I guess.
So you can try interaction and that's what happens.
I kind of don't want to interact with this thing.
It's got
Quite yet.
Wow.
clenched fists, and there is an unarmed thing in the weapons that were in the room outside of it. That one, just like not much to interact with here, though.
I'll go back and tell everybody like what I saw.
For what it's worth, also, this is a winged creature and the hawk was the unarmed one, so I don't know.
Okay. What is there at the hawk?
As you're running right here, something happens.
I'm not running.
Walking, running,
Walking
whichever.
upside down.
Yes. As you walk right at that spot, you hear an incredible gush of water that extends out from the wall over here. And it's like a tsunami that just very rapidly, in the blink of an eye, smashes down the entire corridor here. All 4 of you there, go ahead and make strength saving throws.
I cannot be moved.
Alright,
I
make
mean,
the strength saving throw.
You know, okay. Damn.
Did he stutter?
I just don't know why I would make a strength save.
Get knocked prone, I don't know. to get
I mean, we're
Yeah,
getting
I
smashed
can't.
against the wall in theory,
To
which
get
is
punched
damage.
That's
in the
what I was
face.
saying. I wouldn't be able to.
Well, maybe there's still damage.
21. Yeah, that's fair. Damage sounds fair.
Right. Mirage.
Mirage.
Oh, that's a good save from Mirage.
Damn, Raj is cracked.
What
Yeah,
a
he gets
crazy
these
save.
my saves if mine are better.
If I were to
Okay.
make a wall, like to protect me in here, is a reaction, would that help? Like cover?
I think that's only a response to an attack or a deck save, isn't it? This is neither
I
an
don't
attack
know.
nor a deck save.
I can shield master one person. I'm technically within 5 feet of all 3 people here. Because like I counted as like being on any space of Mirage.
Who's the third person? I only see Mirage and Allah.
Me.
You're not within 5 feet. You're all the way up here.
They are. They're when you're on a mount like that, they're technically occupying all 4 of those spaces.
Am I? Saga's up here, are they not?
No.
On my screen, Saga's token is up here.
Saga's
Roll20
right
does
here
this
for us.
sometimes, Nick.
Yeah.
It just bugs out sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Here, I'll fix it. There you go. That should probably have done it.
Yeah.
Also, in regards to who to shield master, I have less healing but a lot more health.
Well, Saga has like infinite healing. So.
I mean, this is probably damage even
No.
on a success, so I might have to protect Mirage.
That's fair.
I'm not gonna lie, like I don't have that much healing, but I do have health potions.
What? You have a lot of healing compared to the
Yeah,
rest
Mark,
of us.
if we take a fucking short rest, which I don't think that we can.
Well,
We'll
not
end up
even.
taking at least one in here at some point.
Yeah, and also, if you end up getting into combat, you can heal in combat as well. Like, not all of us have that
I
luxury.
could, yeah, I know, but it's just I'm saying like
Also,
I
this
don't
probably
wanna
happened
waste
because
my
you
key.
didn't grab this before you went up.
But the point is that other people who don't have the option to heal whatsoever should be protected first.
I
in
am
my opinion.
totally fine with not getting protected. I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
saying
all.
your conception of me having healing is not accurate when I have limited resources in a dungeon.
You're fine.
I'm
Who
just
you,
saying you have
protecting,
limited
Jordan?
resources versus no resources.
Oh, I
That's
don't
all
get
was saying.
to know the effects before I decide.
No.
I will protect my tiger.
Okay. As this torrent of water gushes forward, it smashes with incredible force. Those who failed this save, which I believe would be Allah and Saga,
Yeah.
it attempts to smash you back overall into the wall back here, Saga, but you cannot be moved. Allah, you are hit back there, I believe, or do you have the walking stick? I forgot.
I do
No,
not.
I have the walking stick.
Okay. You will be hit with this damage, though to 118 damage to you, Allah, half as much onto... Normally, this would have been half Jordan, you turn it to 0 on both you and Mirage. Saga, you will take the full 118 damage, but are not moved.
Well,
Well,
Ouch. That was not pleasant, but I am fine.
we should probably move. Saga's gonna want to continue.
That is
I'm
not a
gonna
bad idea.
take-
Let's go over here.
I will take this axe.
These are not actually, in the description, let me bring it back again.
I don't
Where
think you
is
ever
it?
actually wrote it.
Give me a moment, so that way I can copy it over. Ah, here we go.
That did a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
A little.
The Tarnished
I
Weapons
have
hanging on...
one of the big potions.
So there are the paintings on the walls of the Stork, Lizard, Panther, Hawk, Goat, and Frog. The Tarnished Weapons hanging on the walls are in poor condition and are held in place with hooks to make it appear as though the painted warriors are holding them. Would you like to reach for the statue? Not statue, the weapon?
Hanging on the walls are in poor condition are held in place with hooks to make it appear as though the painted warriors are holding them.
I mean, we could
Okay.
come back to this. Like, we still haven't seen everything.
How much water is there here right now?
It's just constantly dripping on the floor. It's not very high though. Like your feet, it just barely crosses the top of your foot, and that's about it. It's not that deep.
Upside down? That's pretty deep.
Oh wait, you're right. You're upside down. You're on the ceiling right now. There's none on the ceiling, if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
There's no water on the ceiling.
So does that mean she didn't get hit by the tsunami?
They did. It reached from the floor to the ceiling.
Okay.
Alright, I don't know. Nobody else is fucking saying anything. I'll
Alright,
just be
would you
I
like to
don't
head
know,
back?
I'm defeated. I'll say I'm defeated.
Okay. As you're crossing back right across right here, in the blink of an eye, you hear it once more, the surge of water rushing by. Make the strength saving throw.
If she's on the ceiling, she's too high up for me, right? Although
Yes.
I am on my tiger, so I am higher up than normal.
This, remember, these hallways are only as tall as they are wide, and you
Oh,
can't be that
alright.
high up.
I mean, I could be flying. I wasn't, but I could be.
Wait, so how did everybody else move then?
Hmm?
How did everybody else move?
I think
They
it's
move.
not. I don't think it's horizontal movement that triggers it. I think it's vertical.
But that's how I moved.
Didn't you move like this? Or am I crazy?
I mean, I'm assuming that there's basically like a threshold here that when you cross it is what's activating it.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring too.
That's also entirely a possibility.
Alright,
Let's send this Delta in.
I will actually
Alright.
die, so I don't have good strength save.
You'll be fine. We'll heal you if you get knocked out. It's just a wall.
Make the death saving throw, Saga.
The
Hold
death
up.
No, sorry, death saving throw,
Whoa,
sorry.
whoa.
No, whoa, strength saving throw. That's completely different. That's completely different. Make the strength save.
God damn, alright, I guess you are gonna
That's
die.
different. This surge of water blasts you while you were there on the ceiling, and you take 117 damage.
Can you use your reaction to reduce that damage at all?
Like,
I think that's only when the
but,
medallion of the medallion of vigilance is only.
I don't have to be in the medallion state to use that reaction.
Yeah, they were just saying
Like,
that's what would do it.
But yes,
Yeah.
but it's only reduced by like 10.
That was still like 20 if you use it twice.
It's true. That would have reduced it from a grand total of just 215, which still actually knocked you unconscious by 1 HP. Wow, that cookie actually could have made a difference, actually, thinking about
I
it then.
do actually. I can in fact use something else to take away 10 damage additional.
Oh,
Hold
what do
on.
you got?
The
How many reactions can you... Is the infinite reactions?
infinite. Yeah.
Oh wow, I thought that was part of the,
Hold on, where
Vigilance.
is it?
No, it is. I just opened it.
Yeah, these are the properties that are explicitly part of the state of paranoia. Speed doubled, plus 100 to initiative,
The
plus 2
reaction
saving throws.
is part of the heightened state of paranoia.
Oh yeah, that is actually part of the heightened state. Never mind.
It is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
infinite reactions is not part of it.
The damage reduction is, though, I see.
Yes.
Oh, I do have another reaction. I totally forgot which one though.
Sun and moon.
I mean, you could
Oh,
just
isn't it
get
only
knocked
for-
out and we can heal you.
Sun and moon sounds like it's probably most likely.
Exertion do half the damage against you. Yeah, I guess I'll do that.
When you were damaged by a hostile creature, as a reaction, you
wow.
can spend 3 key points to half. There's no
Can I
key to
treat
absorb,
the
essentially.
Can I treat this key or this water as a hostile creature?
It is not a hostile creature, no.
Pain.
Where's the water going after it flows
As,
here?
as soon as it collides with the wall, it just kind of splashes out like a splash zone. Welcome to Splash Town. And, just kind of dissipates as if it wasn't that much water to begin with. Just kind of dripping onto the ground and making the water level go briefly higher for just a few seconds as that returns back to being where it was.
Interesting.
Well, when we do come back to this, I probably should be the one to do this room, I guess.
Saga, do you have anything to reduce the damage in, or will you be knocked unconscious?
Hold on a second. Not like I have so many things to reduce damage, but I'm not in any of my states right now. So no, not really.
Alright,
By
then
one damage. Fuck, by one fucking damage, man.
you are knocked unconscious. Normally you would fall to the ground, but currently your gravity is reversed. You are stuck to the ceiling. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose to make a death saving throw.
I will just wait for somebody to come help me.
Alright, you sit there.
I mean, it's more like lie there.
Well, how do I get up there?
And I have a flying tiger, so...
Oh, true, I have a broom. Thing. Very useful.
Basically the same thing.
But I can only cast Cure Wounds once, so I believe we should probably do
I mean,
this.
I have Cure Wounds. I also have Healer. The Healer.
I
feat.
was planning on using a potion.
I do have a potion in my pocket of superior healing, so.
Do note that if you use a potion, you can't benefit from a healing potion again in the same day. So choose wisely.
Your rules.
Yeah,
I can also spend a minute using the Healer feat to just bring her to 1 HP.
Oh, I can ferry you up there if you need a boost.
I think I would, yeah.
Alright. You watch the wall of water there cautiously as you tend to your work there, High Major Bruno. Beginning work, and after a minute, you tend to Saga, who is back up with 1 HP.
Okay. Anybody have any ideas on how I can get back to full health without spending all of my key?
Oh.
You could beat me up.
What?
You could beat me up. Heal from that.
That's true. That's true. I could.
But,
would you like to let me heal?
I believe that would just create a different problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Kion has the Ion Stone of Regeneration. Beat Kion up.
I will not agree to this.
Oh wait, I can heal myself with cantrips.
You can.
Yeah.
Would you like to try?
Okay. Can I beat you up?
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my god, this is life cheating.
I
actually.
am immune to force damage. Could I waive that immunity?
What's granting you the immunity?
The
Chalice.
chalice.
Oh wait, was this force damage? Because I picked force too.
Force
No, this
damage
is
on your
body.
gloves.
Force damage, gang?
I mean, like
Huh?
she heals from the force damage she deals on her gloves, right?
Yeah.
So like,
But
I
can
need to
turn
take
that
force
into
damage.
poison.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm immune to poison, but you ignore my poison immunity, so I guess
Yeah.
go right ahead. This is a little.
I'll attack you only once just to see if it'll actually
Okay,
work.
perhaps don't
Alright.
do this in the water.
Yeah,
room
let's
in case
move.
there's another waterfall. I'm going to go walk back here.
Zoe, you see Valindra whisper to you. You have such interesting companions.
Okay, let me attack you once, see what happens.
He's gonna.
Alright, you
hold his
put
arms
out your
out,
chest.
forward.
Boom! Saga, you heal for 1 hit point.
1 hit point?
Is there like some kind of anti-healing thing in here?
Yeah! Did you see a little crystal skull pop out of the side?
Oh god. Sorry.
Interesting.
They're like, if I were
Good luck.
Anti-healing, like with potions too?
No.
Just abilities?
Yeah.
I don't think he's being truthful.
What about
but-
supernatural abilities?
Yeah. Kind of.
This
What?
is-
What does
I
that
should
mean?
not trust this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to dragon steam myself and see how that works.
Alright, you heal for 1 HP.
I mean, you can still do it infinitely. You could
I
still,
mean,
you
yeah.
can still heal to full HP if you wanted to.
Yeah, but
It's literally the fucking meme of just the dude punching. Like,
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't think, but I think that my damage will be like more than what you can heal, so I would have to punch you once, wait, punch you again, wait, punch you again. Like that's
So what I'm
wait.
hearing is for the next like 10 minutes, we're just gonna have to be like walking through the dungeon as you guys are hitting each other.
I mean, yeah, obviously we're not just gonna be standing around while that happens. We should
Yeah,
probably.
So
I'll
what
just
the
walk
HP does
around
that put
and
you at
punch
anyway,
through
Jordan?
it every once in a
Hmm?
while.
What HP does that put you at after taking the damage and healing for 1?
Oh, I mean, I'm assuming that's all poison, and it's all piercing.
Do you want it to be something else? Because I don't have to make it all poison. I could just make the brush poison. Or the damage that heals me.
Oh
And
wait,
the rest-
I get temp health every round, so like that also means I take a lot less damage.
Oh, that helps.
So I'm at 247 of 269 after that first hit and the first heal.
This is a very silly solution. I like it.
So,
Oh,
So
they're
can
called
you
gloves,
use
so
cantrips
catching, right?
infinitely to heal?
Hmm?
Try to use your cantrip again to heal.
sure.
Would you take any damage? Because it would have just gone into your temp HP, right?
I mean, that was. Oh wait, is she only? I mean, I'm not immune to bludgeoning, so like I'm still taking that damage, and then I'm still taking.
So that'd be what, 13 plus.
Oh wait, can she selectively apply the immunity piercing? Because that would help a lot.
Poison?
They could have
Poison?
chosen not to put the brooch buff on.
Yeah. I could make
So
it
that would have been
bludgeoning
25 minus
or-
total between the force and the bludgeoning.
So basically, it's just I have 4 more health.
Nice.
So if
Like-
you were to use the medallion, or not the medallion, the cantrip again to try to heal, would that work? To give you another HP?
I mean, I would assume so.
Aqua, does it
I
work?
can try Dragon Steam. This is a. It's not an advantage, so it's not a crit.
Alright, you go for it. You heal for 1.
Okay. So you can heal yourself back up. I'm just fucked. I'm gonna try to use.
It would take you 2 minutes to heal yourself back to full, Jordan. That doesn't mean you cast it every 6 seconds.
I'm just wondering, like, how much you're keeping track of the time passing.
I would imagine we do not have time for this.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, like, I do have a prayer of healing prepared, but that's a 10-minute cast time.
And it potentially might not work as well.
Yeah, no,
Potentially.
I don't think that spells are gonna work.
I could
us-
try using the healer feat on Saga to see what happens.
This is fine. I think right now we should perhaps relieve Saga of her duty of being directly in the front.
Trap bitch.
I am
Okay,
willing to take on the
Aqua.
mantle if I must, but
Mhm.
it is up
What
to you.
happens with quicken healing?
You use quicken healing and you get all 12 back.
Okay, I'll just use quicken healing. It's fine.
That's why that's what I'm saying. I can try the healer feat since it's not magic. It's just literal,
Yeah.
just like first
It looks
aid.
like magical healing is severely reduced.
Yeah,
and
this
supernatural healing
healer
is
feat
fine.
is like first.
It's
I'm
ju-
using a healer's kit. It's literally like
What
first
is?
aid.
How much HP can it bring?
A
back?
lot.
14d6.
All right, use it.
Plus their hit points, hit dice,
Sorry,
I believe.
10
So that's a...
Sorry, 10. Where is it? Did I not put it on here? I swear to God, I put it on here. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to roll it manually. Healer is d6 is equal to twice proficiency. So yeah, 14d6 plus 23.
Would you be willing to do it?
I can use it on each person once per day.
Oh, no.
That's
Okay,
it.
that's not bad.
You regain the full amount from the healer feat.
Do I have 28 key right now?
I think so.
Because what level are we? 23,
Three.
right?
3.
29. Because it's plus 6.
And it's 2 key points for each use of quickened healing.
Yes. 71. Okay, so that will put me to 71. What's 85? Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna use the potion too.
I should keep track of who's used potions, just in case.
Yeah, I was actually typing that into chat just right now, in fact.
Wow, that is awful. How did I roll so poorly?
129 HP. You're quite patched up, Saga, after that brutal hit from the tsunami.
Okay, I'll use a couple more key.
I think there was only one below average.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pog. Less Pog. Even less Pog. It just gets worse and worse.
Okay, 129 plus 44.
I mean, maybe we could,
Oh my
while
god.
we're doing this, split the damage among us to make my prayer of healings more efficient. Assuming that works.
Perhaps, I feel like we should make a plan.
I kind of want to.
189. Okay, I'm at 189 HP.
I kind of want to use a first level slot to test Cure Wounds. If I cast it on Mirage, it will also heal me. Or is it vice versa? So like I'm at least getting double healing out of it, in theory.
Right. I believe that understanding how things work would make things
Wait,
easier to
Aqua,
plan
it's
around.
1 key because of the monk,
Oh, your capstone.
capstone.
True.
Don't lie to me like that. I was like, shit, 18. Okay.
Well, I'm. Wow, those rolls. I'm trying to heal both me and Mirage for 24 here.
Yep, it works.
Okay.
Weird.
So it's just our infinite exploits that don't work.
Asteric's been watching us and doesn't fall for bullshit.
Or perhaps,
Can you
I was-
use Cure Wounds on me?
perhaps
No, it was
down
on
to-
Mirage.
No, I
do
mean,
not
like, can
understand
you use
magic.
it?
I
At
could,
some point?
but I do have a limited number of spell slots that have to make it through the entire dungeon.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think. spell
I'm
slots
fine
are
for
a
now.
little more
I'm
restricted.
perfectly
Yeah.
fine for now. It's fine. Okay, I'm back to full, kind of.
It's probably just as well. I don't think that there were any directions left that were left completely unexplored except on the floor below this one.
Right,
With the
so
gargoyles.
I will say I saw like an entrance that kind of looks like it could be the entrance from this Minotaur thing that we saw here.
Okay, that is interesting. What are our options? There's that wall that doesn't open from this side.
Minotaurs and fiends do have a connection, right?
There's the room with the masked people.
There was
There
also the floor below, which was worth it potentially checking out if we're looking at
Yeah.
every option possible.
I
There was
suppose
at
we
least
may
3
as well.
different ways to go down there, if I remember right.
I shall head down there then. Come along, friends.
Wait,
Oh,
is
you're
that going
moving
down?
rather quickly.
Yes, it's down.
Oh, it looks like up.
You know, these maps aren't perfect, okay? Alright, so let's see. Yeah, really aggro about it for no reason. Hey, look, Jordan's already here. Nice.
Jordan, how did you get ahead of me?
Flight.
I swear I walked down the stairs first.
Like, by all accounts, it shouldn't
Mirage.
make any sense.
And Mirage does have like 180 foot speed while dashing, so.
Okay, is there a plaque here?
Rattles.
Yes, that plaque was already found, however.
That's plaque 3.
Okay.
You
So
get
there's
a
left,
good...
there's right, and there's down.
Yes, with Saga's vision, it's pretty good, so they can see quite far in each of those directions, in fact. Let me go ahead and...
fight the gargoyles. Let's go.
Another one of those.
There we go. As you can see, there are 3 pathways before you. First, one over in this direction is as follows. Let me go ahead and get these.
Snakes.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, looks
These
like
are... here we go. What appears to be a large stone door looms at the end of the hallway, but it bears no handles or hinges. Jutting from the wall on either side of the door are 2 matching bronze sculptures, each the head and neck of a serpent with fangs bared. On the lintel above the door is inscribed the following message in common: warm like flame, cold for the gruel, still for the dead, gruel for the ghoul.
What?
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 Warm like flame, cold for the cruel, still for the dead, gruel for the ghoul. Okay, warm like flame, cold for the cruel. So it's not going to like us unless we are dead. Because it will be still for the dead.
Possibly.
Perhaps.
I'm gonna tell Valindra to go first.
I mean, she could do zombie.
Yeah.
If we're being hesitant about using our spell slots, I'm being cautious about summoning more of the undeads that I have.
Oh, is that not one of her signatures?
I tend not to keep one of those around.
Okay, so perhaps...
I mean,
But
there are other things here to look at.
Let us check down first, yes?
There is a hallway in that direction, of note, in case it got missed as well. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell where they jut out because these walls are so dark. There, so it's even more obvious.
Perfect.
Well, the construct maybe could pass as dead.
I don't think it is alive or dead.
Who's breathing?
My bad, I'll just stop breathing, it's okay.
I mean, that would help for the still for the dead, I guess.
Well,
Yeah, I would have laughed if you just said, well, that will help, and just stopped. That would have been fucked up, but it would have been funny.
Nick leaves the call and we never hear from him again.
His internet just dies right there.
I can't hold my breath for too long.
Nice. Which direction would you like to look at next?
Let's just go down for now. It
Heck, I
looks
was
like
thinking down.
decrepit and shitty, so it's probably not the right way. Ah, apologies. Keep stepping on Mirage's toes.
His toesies. Yeah, this is one of those rare narrow corridors.
It should be noted, I am trying to keep an eye out for traps, but obviously I'm not as good at it.
As Harry.
Yeah.
I'll,
Does
I'll
he
look.
have like a wand of detect traps?
Let me go first, Jake.
There is a wand of detect traps.
By all means,
But it's
take the lead.
instantaneous and not an effect, so.
Alright,
Oh,
so
also, I have
He has
a,
infinite
I have a
charges.
wand of secrets that I'd probably start just like poking around.
To be fair though, Mark, you have
Guess
infinite
walk.
charges, don't you? So like, doesn't really
That's
matter.
true. That's fair.
on to
Here, you just
the
constantly
side,
cast detect traps over and over and over.
over to the right here, what you see is the following.
Cool stone. Saga.
It is a stone wall. A stone slab blocks the end of this corridor. Painted on the slab is the image of a gaunt male humanoid wearing a hooded cloak, its face a mask of stars. The figure's withered left hand is raised with palm extended.
Okay.
And you look over to your left, and as soon as you do, two things happen. The first is, you see this.
Oh. Uh-oh.
The second thing is, it's yourself. Make a charisma saving throw. As you begin to feel something tugging at you.
What?
You feel something tugging at you. Make a charisma saving throw.
Just
Saga.
being replaced by your mirror
I think
doppelganger,
it's
it's fine. I mean, you do have my aura and the talisman. Wow, you are rolling good garbage on this.
There's no
I'm
order.
gonna
There's no
reroll
vigilance
it.
on this. There's no vigilance on it.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm gonna
Trix has to
reroll
be
it.
active. That's
Same.
fucked up.
It's
She
literally-
took 2 away from the vigilance and then just added it to her D20. You do have Nick's D4 things, right?
Mhm.
I'd help you, but I can only do it as a reaction on someone failing a saving throw, so I don't actually think I can apply it to the save, like a bonus to the saving throw that failed.
Mine is
I
a
mean,
bonus to a failed saving throw. but-
I think that like with mirrors and charisma saves are for things you don't really want to fail.
Yeah.
What the fuck you want me to do?
I mean, you could roll the 1d4 from Bunny Boy's talisman, and then you could
Okay.
Oh no.
wait, I guess. Wow.
Also, Jake, thank you for posting that GIF. That was what I was looking for.
That's actually the only favorite GIF I have on Discord.
Nice.
So that's total
the
23
music
so far.
the music has to be playing at the same time too.
Oh yeah.
Standing here, I realize
Yeah, literally.
violent freeze by.
Oh, does that 23 pass?
No, it doesn't have fun.
You know that 1d4 for your application, Alam, right? You get to choose.
What?
What?
I'm
So
not
it-
saving.
here, I'll read you the capstone feature because it says I can use one of my like bonus action features as a reaction when someone fails a saving throw.
Yes.
But then
They have failed the saving throw.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can apply the helpful word thing. Because it's whenever a creature within 60 feet of me makes an attack roll or a saving throw, I can roll the leadership die and add the result to the roll. I can do this after the roll, but before I know the result. So I don't think I can trigger the reaction to do that and then add it to the saving throw in the same saving throw, if that makes sense.
I mean, it was probably intended. Just maybe an issue with the wording.
Yeah, I don't. That seems like an issue with the wording. The intention is that you should have been able to, but. Oh wait, hold on.
Well, because I think the idea.
Oh, I see what you
like,
mean. The boat.
Yeah.
You had to get into the stance first, basically.
Yes, and then once I'm there, I can give it to other saving throws or attack rolls that happen.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I know what you mean.
It's a little awkward.
You all
but-
watch as the Saga, who is standing right here, dodging and holding their ground, the soul from their body just literally gets sucked into the mirror, and their body follows suit right afterward.
What the fuck?
That is an
Oh.
issue. I believe we need to investigate this mirror because yes, we're not leaving that behind. Wish me luck, everybody. I'm going
We're
to.
not leaving our
If anyone's
compass
going,
behind.
it'd probably be me.
Should you
Guys,
place?
I do have like astral projection, so I could I
I can
get
tell
my
you what
soul
you.
out of my body?
I can tell you what it is. That you see inside of there.
Sure.
Give me a moment.
Is this a secret?
Yeah, I'm gonna whisper it over.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this is actually in my flaws. I would step around the corner, by the way, and look directly at the mirror.
All right, you look over at the mirror there. Make the charisma saving throw as soon as you turn the corner there, along with you, Jordan, and Mirage.
Oh, I should have mentioned. I meant to say it. obviously it's now after the fact, but I did intend to enter the stance this time, so I can give out D4s or D10s.
Understandable, go for it.
Okay, so this is my save. Well,
Welcome to the torture chamber.
I don't know if I'm allowed to use the helpful thing on myself. I think you said I am.
Yeah, I think the intention was that you could, if I recall.
Which is kind of goofy. It's
Stalin's...
just funny because it says you prepare to aid any others around you, but then it says whenever a creature within 60 feet of me, and like I count, right?
Yeah, you would count.
Okay.
Is the talisman before or after,
I believe it is after you fail to save.
Here, I will, I'm gonna add 2d4 to mine, and then you can add 2d4 to yours, Jordan.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna roll nuts, see? Look at that.
15, so that brings you up to 26, Allah?
Yes, I believe that is correct.
And Jordan, that brings you up to...
36.
36.
This is scary.
The way I see it, if 30 was a fail, I would need a high roll anyway on 44, so...
Allah, you have failed. You may roll a 1d4.
Wait, so next thing is I can do it after?
Yes, after you fail to save.
Hog!
Yeah.
Let's see if the commander saves me.
You see your soul momentarily sucked through, but through the force of the talisman shining on your necklace, it holds you right there exact on the spot. Jordan, you almost suffer the same fate as you feel your soul getting ripped over in that direction, but just barely maintain. The DC for this is 30.
Yeah.
Close there.
You are beginning to feel it pulling on you once more, but it looks like you have a turn.
I mean, Mirage can get me there in one turn. Like, what do we see in the mirror?
Looking into the mirror, what you see is the following.
Yourself. It's a mirror.
Yeah, you do see yourself, but looking carefully inside, inside of this room of sorts, you see Saga. They don't seem to notice you as they're just kind of looking around their surroundings and walking infinitely toward the wall, but no matter how far they walk, it seems that they are standing inside of the same spot.
I mean, I kind of want to smash the mirror, or at least attempt to, but I don't know if that's advisable.
If you're going to smash the mirror, at least let me get my soul sucked out first. So that if she gets trapped in there, she's not alone. We'll be able to find a way out. Yes, I'm aware that's a little rash.
Can I tell if this is the same plane of existence?
Oh shit, it is. I need to get to it.
It's... You don't have the Arcana knowledge to notice, no. Do you have Arcana, Allah?
No.
And you don't, do you use Jordan? No. There's some funky magic going on here. This mirror is very magical.
Could I make a check to try to see?
Do you want me to go over there?
Yes, bitch. The fuck?
Or me, I can also do it.
Oh, what's your charisma save? Actually, wait, you're a fucking artificer. You probably have better charisma saves than me.
I mean, I don't have proficiency, so I don't have to tell you.
Oh.
You're also not going to be in the range of my aura. Unless you, like, walk backwards, I guess.
I'm gonna dash and then get into the stance again.
I mean, I have 70 feet of movement.
Just ask
without
Felindra
dashing.
to do it. She's our puppet.
No, she's
What?
not, and she probably doesn't care enough.
They're just watching you. You just see that they looked at them both, get sucked in, like, huh.
Well, she's got Arcana knowledge, perhaps.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Like, we could ask her what she knows about the mirror. Like, what do we do?
That sounds like a mirror of life trapping, but more powerful than the usual one.
Just ask if it's on the same plane of existence, because there's a way for me to get out if it is.
Well, we wouldn't be able to get that information to you if.
I wonder.
That's true, but I could hear.
So you can hear
Might not
wobbly
even-
words on the outside. They're barely audible.
Mirror of life trapping.
It's not an extra. It is an extra dimensional cell, so it is a demi-plane on the inside. You were running out of time for questions while standing here. You were beginning to feel it sucking at you.
This thing either can hold
by the end
up
of your turn.
12 people total, or it has 12 in it, 13 now with Saga. Because there was the plaque that mentioned the mirror. So keep that in mind.
What did it say?
It said you can't hear me, you're in the mirror. I'm not answering.
Walk through water with weapon. Death to fire, death
Mirror
to
holds
drown,
12.
person there.
I mean, there's not 12 of us, so.
But it could hold
Hey,
up to
Saga, can you hear me? Saga, come out.
You hear a wom 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 wom. Oh, Saga.
Bloody mirror.
Maze holds the key. The maze holds the key.
I mean, I feel like slashing at it is the only thing I've got in mind.
Can you cover the mirror? Are you close enough?
I mean, I am within 5 feet of it. I'm not sure how I would cover it. Cover it in frost, perhaps?
Okay, is there a possibility for this to be a charmed effect?
This is not a charm now.
That's what I thought. Cause
Alright, what if we
get
try
out
to
if
what if
you
we try to
want.
dispel the magic on the mirror? What do you think would happen?
I'm gonna try coating it in frost with my breath weapon. Like, if I can do that. This is my
Alright,
bonus action.
Alright, you begin to breathe on the mirror in order to fog up the exterior. A layer of thick ice covers it. You do not feel it sucking at your soul anymore right now.
Okay, good. But now we need to get her out of there.
Mm-hmm.
To answer your question, Kion, Lindra telling you, it's like attempting to use spell magic on a magical item. It wouldn't do anything. Either we would need the keyword or something else. Here's what I know about the original item at the very least, but this one doesn't seem to function the same way.
It has a command word.
Let me go. Help. Let me go.
Can escape using magic that permits planar travel. You can call out the name, but we've already tried that and that didn't work.
What name?
Like your name. Like Allah tried calling out
What if-
Saga.
What if she's been lying the whole time and her name isn't Saga, and that's the only reason it didn't work?
It's a goth, actually.
Oh my god.
Do you
I'm
note
in the
that it takes
mirror.
an action to take the name of calling? Not just saying the name alone.
Oh, he was dashing, so that wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I don't
I
have
guess.
an action.
Well, it's not sucking us anymore, so it can be the next turn.
True.
Oh, I haven't used my action yet. I just used my bonus action. I will
Yeah,
try
you're out
to
of the
call
turn.
Saga.
You are out of the turn order for now.
Like, I will try to like get up close to it and clearly call Saga, like enunciate it and everything.
I'm
Maybe
not sure
you have
that'll
to
work
say
while
it
it's frosted over.
backwards.
So we would have to defrost it. You have to see the reflection. Jordan, cover your eyes. I will clear it.
Okay, but I feel like we can just. Do you need vision for Dragon's Team?
No, I mean if we need to
I'm just
say the
thinking.
Saga's name while seeing it, then
I mean, I don't think it's a matter of while seeing it. I think it's just a matter while it's covered in ice. Like, we could probably close our eyes, defrost it, then say it while our
Oh
eyes
my
are closed.
god!
perhaps.
I didn't have to die earlier! Bruh! I forgot about this!
I mean, you would have had to do that in advance.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah,
action, not a reaction.
That's true.
I mean, if no one is stopping me, I am going to, like, Mirage and I are going to close our eyes and try to remove the ice from the mirror while giving plenty of time for people to get away or whatever.
Yeah, I'll close my eyes as well.
Right.
If we call her name and it does not work, I will open eyes and try again.
Alright, you get ready to call her name as you're removing the ice out. As soon as just enough of the reflection is visible, you both begin to feel it. Make those charisma saves.
technically, wouldn't it be the three of us?
3, yes. That's a pretty solid roll there, Allah. Pretty solid roll, Jordan.
Hey,
And
that's
Barrage, you all maintain as
Hey,
you call for Saga, and you see them right there. And Saga, you see them back.
Oh, hey guys, what's up?
get out
Get
of the
out
fucking
of there.
mirror.
There's nothing here. I've been walking for miles.
To us! Come to us!
It's this way, through the mirror.
Right, they walk
Alright.
towards you, and no matter how much they run toward in your direction, you see them running, and they move very fast. They don't get any closer to your side of the mirror.
Aqua, would the Ring of Absolute Freedom
It's not
help
so high,
Saga
so
here?
this smile would be funny.
I don't believe so, because you can't target them.
Well, I'm not targeting them, they're targeting themselves.
Let's see what the actual wording of it is.
I swear there's some kind of monk bullshit for this.
If there is, I'll knock you out myself.
Oh,
If a
Get
creature's
this- get the
within
monk out of
300
here.
feet of you at the start of its turn, they're not within 300 feet of you.
So what
That's
you're
like-
saying is, if Harry was inside the mirror too, they both could use it.
Depends. It is
perhaps.
an infinite expanse, so they happen to coincidentally happen to be right next to each other in the infinite space of reality. Yeah?
Saga could
You're
try
saying there's a
Well,
tan.
well,
I feel
didn't
like that's pretty likely.
I was
well,
gonna
yeah,
say,
didn't
Saga could try using the teleport from the talisman to get to
That's
me,
what I was
but-
gonna do, but I need you guys to ask whether or not this is the same dimension that I'm
We
from.
did, and it's not.
It's not? Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's a demi.
Yeah, it's a demi-plane.
Okay,
Aqua, don't we have telepathic bond? Didn't Valencia cast it?
I thought she didn't.
Wait, she
They
did? I
originally
thought she
cast it
did.
earlier. Yeah, they originally cast it earlier.
Okay.
Although it doesn't work past walls, if you as you noticed earlier.
Right, so if
Is
it's
this
an
the
infinite
astral plane?
expanse, it's a demi-plane, so... Kind of.
Kind of.
Alright, no, the reason I was saying is if Harry willingly goes in the mirror, can communicate with Saga, they can meet up and use the Ring of Infinite Freedom, Absolute
I don't
Freedom.
think they can meet up, because remember, they're not actually, like, moving.
okay, guys,
They're
tell
not?
me, is this the
I don't think so.
like what kind of demi-plane is
It's early.
What? There's not different kinds of demi-plane, it's just a demi-plane.
Okay, so the astral projection spell says that I can freely travel through the astral plane and go through a portal that brings me to another plane of existence. Then my body gets teleported to where my soul is, so I can technically leave like that, right?
Maybe. I mean, this
Maybe.
is
Astral
Normal
projection
stuff
spell is the astral projection spell is like 10 paragraphs, so I'm
Your
not
soul-
100% sure how it
If you
works.
astral project from where you are to the astral plane, then you go back to where your soul is still where you started.
No, it
Yes,
says-
the astral projection plane doesn't move your body.
Okay, if you enter a new plane or return to the plane you were on when casting the spell, your body and possessions are transported along the silver cord, allowing you to re-enter your body as you enter
Oh.
the new plane. Your astral form is a separate incarnation. Any damage or other effects apply have no effect on your physical body, nor do they persist. So yes, I can. I can move my body if I move my soul through a plane.
Yeah, that would technically work if you move yourself through the plane.
Okay, so monk bullshit saves the day again.
Alright, would you like to go for it?
I will try, yes, I will try to go to an astral projection of myself into the astral plane, find the plane of existence where my friends are, and teleport my soul there, and then through the silver cord move my body and belongings to my
Alright.
soul.
Saga tells you their plan, as they use astral projection.
I'll keep my eyes closed, by the way, during this time.
I mean, it didn't
Alright.
help.
True.
Would you like to frost up the mirror again?
Perhaps leave it.
Can I ready an action to frost it if Saga appears with us?
Sure, although you notice that it happens at the beginning of each turn, so...
I'll stay in the stance of helping.
I'll ready that action.
So wait,
Alright, you ready it.
you don't need to be able to see your reflection for this one.
No, we had our
No.
eyes closed and it still tried to eat our soul.
Shit. I would love to come and help you, but I
That's okay.
But you're
Probably-
too much of a pussy, we know.
Not everyone has strong charisma.
Yes,
Are you going to? Are you just hanging out there, or you said you're? What was the trigger for your rating? Are you like going to try before it tries to suck out your soul, or are you like
I was
waiting a
going-
turn, going to try resist it?
I was going to. The trigger is like Saga appearing like not inside the mirror, like somewhere outside with us.
Why do you need to wait for Saga to appear outside the mirror? Why not just process?
Because I don't want to like do it like halfway and screw it up and just.
Saga's torso appears.
Oh no!
No.
I don't think it'll be a problem to have it frosted, just so you're not making constant Christmas saves.
But
You
we
know-
don't know if that messes up with
But like
the,
we don't know if it
pervert.
messes up Saga.
It
Yeah.
shouldn't. The outside of the mirror has no bearing on what's happening on the interior.
I will be right back.
Well, then
Well,
frost it
she's
up.
the Arcanist. I will freeze frost all over it.
I know
Alright.
nothing about magic, so
You do. 6 seconds pass by and Saga has not appeared.
perhaps it
Oh.
takes longer.
I mean, yeah, like dimensional travel probably takes longer than 6 seconds.
Maybe a couple
We will
weeks.
wait.
Alright. How long would you like to wait?
Fuck, man.
Maybe I'm just not
5
trying to go
minutes?
too. Good luck, guys.
5 minutes?
I was going to say 30 seconds. Dave, Valindra,
Yes.
how long would that plan take?
Well, it's difficult to say. I'm not certain how astral travel works inside of this entire place. I imagine it's not quite so easy as just that, but at the very least, it shouldn't keep them trapped inside the mirror. That should have allowed them to escape. And they're not there, as far as it seemed when they disappeared.
I
Right,
mean,
clear.
we're
clear
not
the
in
blood
danger
mirror.
waiting, and we're. I mean, just even she's saying it wouldn't stop like her for escape.
But it is. I worry that if we're tarrying this long at the start, that we're going to have to push quickly through everywhere else.
I mean,
And we know what the mirror is capable of.
Well,
Wait, Valindra, how would this work with you? If your soul got trapped in the mirror, isn't
this.
your soul tied to the phylactery? But that's like cut the die?
It's a little bit more complicated, but the soul is intricately linked in there. While we're waiting, I'll explain it as they spend the next minute talking about it to you.
Fascinating.
While you're waiting there and seeing what's happening here, give me a second. I have to get something.
Could I try sending Saga to see how she's doing? There's like only
Yeah,
a
you-
5% failure chance, right?
You go for the sending. Send. You hear a dial tone. Boop, 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 boop.
the user you have contacted is not at this plane of existence. Please
We're
try
sorry,
again
but the number you're
later.
trying to contact is unavailable. If you think this is an error, please try again later.
I'll try again right away. Screw that.
Hello? Just kidding.
Give me a
The
moment.
user you have contacted.
I'm assuming y'all are doing something in the whispers.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
We are whispering, in fact. I have become an astral plane goddess, and I will not be returning to the tomb. Good luck.
So, as you wait there, something
She might
happens
be.
over here. Saga, you look all around.
I just thought about it. Yeah, she might not appear there.
This is an
Yeah.
interesting scene I've come back to.
Where
You're-
did you point to?
y-
Sorry, Oh God, the fuck?
Kind-
What is this?
You're
This
looking
reminds me of
around,
when-
and this
Friend
enormous,
Otyugh.
ugly creature is here.
That's an Otyugh, I'm pretty sure.
It is a nut yolk, and they are eating. You know, this all this flesh that's on the ground here. Let me read you the description of this room here. You arrive in a room half filled with rotting corpses. Protruding from one wall is a large green devil's face. Its flared nostrils set just above the putrescent mass. A sconce above the face holds a flickering torch. You look over and Yaya is very much looking at you, Saga. Roll for initiative.
This reminds me when the Cavalier with Buckbeak when he
Yeah,
cheated.
Tychus.
Tychus had to
Tychus.
fight
The serpent.
Bone Naga.
The Bone Naga.
And that was a little hairy.
Oh my god, I just thought about this. This
True.
is gonna be an absolute nightmare to write this fucking recap.
I only won because
Oh, boy.
I made a glory
We looked at
process.
so many fucking hallways.
Okay, sorry. What am I doing? Fighting this
You are
thing?
rolling for
Rolling
initiative as you are inside of this room.
Alright, I'll activate my
Well,
battalion.
Hey, guy, I've played
Alright.
enough dungeon crawlers to know.
I'm not
that
even
being
gonna roll
walking
initiative.
through hallways is very interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I just
also,
didn't use the right word.
for my first action,
True.
go into the avatar state. And use... Do I know anything about this creature?
Yes, they're pretty common relatively. They love eating corpses and they love turning things into corpses so that way they can eat them. This one seems particularly large and it's covered in rotting flesh all over as if it's merged with the froth all across the area.
I will, avatar of flame this bitch.
You do. You do also notice as you're busy hitting it that each of these nostrils of this devil's face over here seems to have a lever inside of it.
Oh, okay.
What save is that?
Dexterity?
Dexterity. Give me a moment. That would be... here we go.
25 fire. It misses or it fails, sorry.
Alright, and it takes the full 25 fire damage as the rotting flesh is now rotting, burning flesh. It's putrid and awful inside of here.
Okay. I'm also going to... Well, I don't need to be that close, actually.
Wait, if she's back here, don't we have her telepathic bond? Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't we know?
This happens during the minute you are waiting for them.
It also doesn't go through the walls, if I remember correctly,
Oh,
right?
Oh,
well,
right,
that
right,
could-
right, right.
But
Keep in
And
mind,
sending
you
wouldn't
could,
go through the walls either.
technically try to teleport since we're on the same plane of existence, but that would be up to you, and it would take your action.
Or so there's nothing in place that would stop that.
Do keep in mind you only get the one healing from each of those hits, but that will deal 106 damage.
The walls
Okay.
might, but
also,
I don't think we tried, technically.
try 2 stunning strikes, please.
That first
Okay,
one should be
stun.
a fail.
Alright, it will legendary resistance that.
I'm also gonna go over here and dodge.
Alright, you are dodging. The screams out in horror as it begins moving over to you to hit you with its tentacles. First, actually, it will try to bite you,
Okay.
and it has advantage on this, so it's normal.
Oof.
23 will miss as Tentacle 1 attacks.
Hold on, I'm gonna move 10 feet away.
It moves closer.
Okay.
Its tentacles have enough reach.
Does it have advantage?
It's normal. As it has advantage, yes.
Oh, okay. That one, I'm gonna put a pillar up.
If you add, but that only adds 5, right? So you.
So yeah, you'd still get hit.
Correct.
I have 30 AC. It's 25.
I see 24.
AC. I thought it was the 25 AC.
Pretty sure it's been 24.
Yeah, I don't think it's increased in a long time.
Well, there are your Dex and Wisdom modifiers.
7 and 5.
22 plus 1 from your Brooch. I mean, not Brooch, yes, Brooch. Where else are you getting bonuses?
I had. I don't remember it right now, but
Do you have any fighting style? Do you have the defense fighting style or anything?
no.
It only works when you're wearing armor.
Oh, right.
I'll look. I forgot, but okay. So that it hits me.
Alright.
Since it's 29, I thought I had 30 for some reason, but
Yeah, the initial whap with the tentacle hits pretty hard as the spikes covered all across it begin to wrap over onto your body and deal significant damage.
okay,
You are
so it's
restrained while grappled by it.
It is half of that, and I cannot be restrained.
Alright.
48.
What? Can't be moved or can't be restrained?
I cannot be restrained, grappled, prone.
Isn't that only if
Right.
you use the bonus action to activate it? The freedom movement?
Let me look. I think it's from just.
Because freedom of movement isn't passive, you have to activate it first.
No, I know, but I think Enduring Mountain says. You cannot be moved, pushed, grappled, frightened, or knocked prone against your will. No restraint. Sorry, I am restrained.
Okay. Because the restraint is part of the grapple and you can't be grappled. Okay.
Yeah, but I was referring to. I thought restraint was a part of these actions, but it's not. So I have resistance to both bludgeoning and piercing. I will also minus 15. One of those. Minus 10? Or is it minus 15? It's minus 10.
Yeah. Yeah, the flat reduction happens before the resistance, mind you.
Yeah, so it's
Really, it's
Like-
-5.
38. Hold on.
Oh, it did.
can't
Sorry, I
do
didn't
math,
divide that.
sorry. So it's not divided by 2, so it's 35 damage.
36 technically, but yes.
Plus, hold on, plus 2, minus 36. Okay.
And then it whaps with tentacle number 2.
It hits.
Same dealio.
Yeah.
44 after resistances.
Okay. Do I know which lever to pull?
You look at both of them. They're both attached over in ethereal ways. But though at the end of its turn, because that's all it really does, you hear a little rumbling sound as you see the bones here beginning to shift.
Yeah, okay.
A tentacle rises out from the bones.
Oh.
I'm gonna... Is that the end of its turn?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try to use the talisman to go to Bruno.
Alright. You use the talisman to attempt to go to Bruno.
I mean, the walls, remember?
We don't. Did we? Do we don't know if it
We
works
didn't
with
test,
features
but-
though.
Dimension door. Well,
Feature
Well, it's a
versus
featured
spell,
out
though.
of magic, yeah.
So it's possible. It's not.
Is it an action to attempt it?
It is an action.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, you use your action to Bruno. What?
Well, that's fucking
least-
lame.
At least it got you unrestrained.
That's true.
Well, they weren't. They can't be grappled, and so the restraint is part of the grapple, so they're not even restrained.
Ah, I see.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, Aqua,
yeah,
Aqua, is this map is this map accurate?
In what regard?
How like.
Yeah,
you
are
mean
we
this
actually
distance?
this? Yeah, are we actually this distance away?
I don't think so.
No, it is somewhere else.
Okay.
This is just the most convenient spot for this map to be.
Okay.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
I'm gonna go to him again, and I'm gonna try to attack him 2 more times.
Alright, boom, boom.
Make the saves, please. The first one, let me see if it's 27 or 28. It's 27, so it does pass.
As it will take a 90 damage. It is quite wounded after that before it hits its second.
I'm gonna try to go like literally on the wall, like not be on the boats or anything, just like climb the wall. Try to go the other side.
Alright.
Somewhere where I don't think it will reach me, and also dodge.
Did either of you stun?
No,
No.
because 27 is my saving
Okay.
DC.
Got you. At the beginning of its turn, you see it go right below the wall over here. Boom, 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 boom.
Is it up?
Let me see, I have to check something. Okay. From over here, you see it trying to bite you, but it's unable to reach, so instead, it just tries to reach of its tentacles all the way up to the ceiling there, and try whapping you twice. Bat, bat.
Did it have
Both of them
advantage?
missing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. As it misses, you see that the other one that was climbing up from the filth in the recluse below has arrived.
Fucking hell. Okay. Does my tremor
You-
sense anything else?
Yes, and
Yeah.
tremor sensing below, you see that there are more of them. So many more of them. There must be at least 10.
Mine.
Okay.
Good luck, homie.
You think give the
That's
levers
okay.
the only option?
Yeah, I think so.
Just saying, you got 2 hands, you could pull them both.
What the fuck? That's true, I could pull them both, but like...
Oh,
Alright.
your medallion lets you ask questions, right? With like augury or something, like which is a
That's
good,
true.
which will give you good results.
That's true. I do have augury. I will ask with augury on my turn.
Is that an action to do it though?
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know.
I'm checking right now.
I mean, you could probably use an item interaction
Augury
to pull
has
the
a
lever.
casting time of 1 minute.
Yeah, but I think the medallion lets her.
Yeah, I
do
was
it.
gonna say the medallion probably alters
Now
it.
it does alter.
Aurelian
Yeah.
might also do it.
You can cast it
And what
at
way did
will.
it alter?
I can
At
guess
will,
it I
but-
will.
Yeah, it just says you can cast it at will, so I think it actually still is a minute cast time.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just go with my gut and pull the left lever.
Good choice. Good choice. I like you said that and ran to the right side of it.
Sorry, left lever. Get me out of here. Anything's better than this.
Alright, you pull on the left lever.
Tackle before you
Nice.
save. That's a good result. Oh, great magic 8-ball. Was the left lever the right choice? My sources say no.
Well, goodbye, Rose.
But I'm dead, and that doesn't count. Okay?
Oh, that's true. Oh, wait, I
Hold
have the O-ball. Hang on. I have
no,
the
I
O-ball.
asked my 8-ball in real life.
Wait, Mark,
Yeah.
didn't you also have an 8-ball?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
you
I'm
should ask
talking.
yours. See what the
I
consensus
have
is.
an 8-ball too. Why did I ask
Okay.
mine?
Sure, let's all ask for 8-balls. Why not? Alright. Oh, great magic 8-ball. Is the left lever the right choice?
No.
Without a doubt, actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit,
Alright.
let's
So
go!
we got some conflicting 8-ball prophecies here.
The
Conflicting
council
info
is divided
prophecy.
on this.
Alright, Aqua, what happened?
I will tell you
Did
what
it
happens.
spawn another monster?
Can you imagine 8-ball sitting in a chair around a table deciding on how to answer everybody's 8-ball questions?
Alright, as you're inside, as you chunk down on that left lever, something happens. A
Yep.
massive spear of black utter darkness appears at the center of the room and begins to start gravitating everything inside of the room toward it. And very quickly it encompasses the entire area.
Oh my god.
Okay,
This
Uh.
darkness is pitch black, the darkest black that you have ever seen. You immediately take a death saving throw.
Oh.
I
okay.
want-
A
I'm
death
still
fail, that
alive?
is. Yes, you are still standing. You have a death fail right now.
okay.
She
What
can't
the
be moved
fuck?
while she's dodging, though, I think. So if
Yeah,
that's
that's true.
sucking.
Oh, I don't
Is
think
it-
it cares.
I don't think it's either.
I would
Alright,
agree,
I would
yeah.
death
I
fail.
think if it pulled you in there, you'd be dead.
Yeah, you see, in fact, somebody does actually get dragged into it, and as they do, they just get utterly and instantly disintegrated.
I get that Saga's annoying in dungeons, but like, you don't have to kill her, okay?
Well,
That's
just
right.
hit the right lever this time.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll pull the
Okay.
right lever.
Wait.
All right, actually, you see
What if
that as
Hang on.
Mhm.
What if that's what Hysteric wants you to do? What if it's the left lever?
Hold on.
Okay,
Second time?
what
as
Oh,
as
great
the
magic 8-ball.
I guess I should
Right
point out
lever is the correct
as you
lever.
pulled the left lever, they both did just return back to their original positions.
Ask again later. I can't ask it this round. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my god, are you fucking kidding me?
I can't ask it this round again. It'll probably give me
Alright.
she'll give me a false answer.
It is the next
Alright,
round, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna see.
Bro,
Alright,
yours said that it was without a doubt that the death lever was the right one.
Okay, but it got rid of the two beasts, so maybe
From
it
a
wasn't
point
wrong.
of view.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they
So
both
let's
are
see.
reset.
Is the right lever the right option? Let's see. My sources say no. Uh-oh.
But maybe it's like one of the 8-balls tells the truth, the other one lies.
Can you guys shut the fuck up for a second? I'm trying to save my life over here. Can I perceive the future?
Interesting choice of words. I don't see how you would do that though.
Okay, no, what I'm trying to figure out is, can I use, like, investigation or perception or fucking insight to see into the fucking darkness and see which one's the right one? Or
We're gonna use
eyes a
insight
minute
to see
seek
into
to
the
see if there, what the difference is between these two.
They look
Like
exactly
colors.
identical.
Yeah, but is there anything else that I can see on the?
The only thing you
actual
see is
statue?
the all-consuming black void that seems to be suffocating this room. All the corpses
about-
are being sucked into it.
Okay, what about the statue at the side? Did I see something weird when I was looking at there outside?
No, they are pretty much exactly identical. The statue simply looks down at you with a smug expression. Has it always been smug?
Make a
Probably.
perception check. See if it's always been smug. Let's see.
Alright,
Like,
I'll make a
you remember the
perception check.
scarecrows?
Mm.
Yes. I will make a perception check.
The scarecrows were fun.
Oh yeah, it's
They
always like that smug. With the
Alright.
green devil faces.
Okay, so it's nothing against you. It's just, you know.
Smug in general.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I swear to God, I must have Alzheimer's because I always forget whether or not I took my medications before tonight.
I
Yeah,
have
no,
that too, so I have a little pillbox to remind me.
Yeah, that's what the pillboxes are for.
I do not have one of those. And no, Mark, it's not medication for Alzheimer's.
I'll send you the one I have. I like it. It's very useful.
My mom has one, but I don't.
You should. It's good.
I probably.
Alright, Saga. Before you was a left lever and a right lever. They are identical in every fashion. The ethereal links between them are exactly the same.
Except one probably leads to your death. The other one might also lead to your death, but you don't know.
okay, so I'm guessing that they reset completely, so okay, let me just like roll a heads or tails.
Which one's which?
Heads is left, tails is right. Heads. Left. Go.
Alright.
If Saga
Ka-dunk!
dies like this, I don't feel bad.
If Saga dies like
serious,
this, we
though.
can actually totally figure out that Mark's 8-ball's a liar.
You pull on the left lever as you see that the chaotic force of Oblivion is increasing more and more. It nearly is encompassing the entire room at this
Alright.
point.
Alright.
Darkness is befalling you. You get one more death fail.
Oh,
Would you like me to ask my magic 8-ball again? No, it's in the round.
They reset once more. There before you lies your fate between the two levers. Left
Okay,
and
wait.
right.
I'm flipping a coin.
What would you
Surely-
like me to
Wait,
ask?
wait,
Would
wait.
you like me to ask
Yeah,
the magic
8-balls.
8-ball?
Tails.
Wait. Ask the balls first. Hang on.
Guys,
Go ahead,
stop
Vic.
with the fucking inbox. They don't know
No,
shit.
no,
Clearly.
this-
She doesn't want me to. I'll ask it in private.
Uh-oh.
I'm not gonna say what my 8-ball said, but
Same.
You have to tell me. Like, you guys are fucking
now
assholes.
we have to tell you.
Yeah.
I asked it if the right lever was the correct choice, and it said, or she said, it is decidedly so.
Wait,
Alright.
for me it was if the right lever was the right one, and how it looked not so good.
Oh,
And it's
Alright,
actually
so
one of them
this is
tells the
literally-
truth
this
and
is
one of
lit-
them
yeah,
lies.
that's exactly what I was about to say. The last time we had a situation where there was one tells
They
the
were
truth,
both
one tells a
lying.
lie, Fenville died. So
And they were both lying. So,
oh, yeah, and they were both
what if
lying.
they're both lying? You have to hit both levers at once.
Ooh.
Oh.
Shove your hands up his
Wow.
nostril.
Saga, you at least know this much. I guess I give you this much as your background. If there was some other kind of trick to this, there should be a hint. But this is an incredibly powerful trap, which indicates that if there was some other kind of trick here, there'd be some kind of hint to it, and you have looked at this room quite extensively during your last 12 seconds.
So you're telling me that there's no other hint if there's a trap here.
You don't see one, and with your mind racing between these two levers, you think if there was anything, you would have found it.
So you're saying that it's most likely just that the right lever is the right lever.
Or maybe the left
Well,
lever is the left lever.
Okay, well I did flip a coin and it's a tails, which is the right lever, which is what I'm going with because flipping a coin is always the right decision, and not your stupid magic 8 balls. So I will go with the right lever. this time
Right.
around.
You pull on the right lever. Two things happen. The first is that the all-encompassing black void begins to suffocate everywhere. But right as it is about to reach your very edge right there, you're feeling your feet and legs starting to disappear into oblivion. The eyes of the statue there turned blue.
What?
Nice! We made
Nice.
the eyes blue.
What the fuck? Where am I?
You find yourself boop, ejected out, literally thrown out right here.
Where? Oh, at the beginning of the map?
Yeah, you
What
see
did I
that
tell
literally
you? A
just
Serac
chucks you out of the
likes
black void of the
traps
wall.
that send you back to the beginning.
Alright, well, I am very good at finding my way. Wait, what is this? Is this
It's
an
a
open portal
infinite
now?
black expanse from where you got ejected from. You take a look over at yourself. Outside of the injuries you incurred from the you feel fine, but it feels like your soul is still hurting or reeling. You still have those death veils.
Yeah. Okay. I am going to slowly, walk to my friends where I left them.
You all are there waiting for Saga during this minute.
Where am I?
Put
Do you
yourself
want me
on
to
the
place
map.
myself?
You can put yourself down now. You just walk down the stairwell. As though you're the first one to see them.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
So what happened?
I don't want to talk about it. Can we take a short rest?
What happened?
I'm almost dead. Literally, my soul got sucked into a black, inky void, and then I got flipped all the way to the beginning of the map, and then I had to find my way back. And I was in the mirror, and then I was in the astral plane, and then I was in a corpse room, and I had to find a bunch of shit. I'm not having a good fucking day. Can we take 30 seconds? No, actually 30 minutes for me to recover. I have 2 death fails.
You said you don't need to breathe, right? Would you like to hop into somebody's just bag of holding and just kind of sleep for a while?
I don't know if that will get rid of my death fails.
I'm actually not sure what would beyond
Jake looking
the long
campaign.
rest.
Accurate. I do note that it's not 30 minutes for a short rest. It's an hour for short rest still, but 30 minutes of that have to be spent meditating. For the
Yeah,
monk.
so you still
Right.
need like a full short rest to get your key back. And that's a little dangerous given
Wait,
the time
Aqua,
of
you're
year.
actually rolling which lever was correct every time?
Yep.
Oh my god.
My
that's-
magic 8 ball is so
Alright.
smart. She's like, no, it's not the left one. And then she's like, yeah, it's the right one. And Marks is like, it is the left one. No, don't pull the right one. Pure evil.
Yeah, honestly, I
Pure
didn't really
evil.
trust. I didn't trust any of your 8-balls because I knew it was a 50-50
Well, one of them
D2,
had to be
so...
correct, so
It's not a 50-50 when you're asking my magic 8-ball. She's always right.
I will probably say that having calculated all the rituals and everything, it's probably an hour to have checked every single floor and all the rooms as such.
So
And
we have 5 hours left?
yeah, and then you can take your short rest, which would be another hour, so that'd be 4 left.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
time.
not take the short rest now, because I feel like
Yeah,
we're
like,
gonna need it
I feel
later.
like, yeah, like if
Yeah.
the right time to short rest would be if we all need it.
So,
Yeah, well, the thing
Just
is, if I
Saga.
like...
Saga.
I'm just gonna ask somebody to fucking heal me to full, so I don't
And
die.
how about you stay in closer to the back?
No, that's not what got me in trouble here, honestly.
I don't
I mean,
think
I
that's
will
true.
definitely
If you were
get
the
somebody
first
else to
person-
go in first, but...
Yes, okay. I will gladly do this thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I'm
think
not
I
gonna
really
go
have
to
anyone
the
that can
back
really
because I
heal
really
people.
need to be at the front.
Okay.
Like,
Just don't leave.
Oh,
Is what I'm getting at.
shoot, I did forget one thing actually. This is
I
relevant.
did forget one thing. You get another death fail. Saga's like, I'll stay.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh wait, no, never mind. Ignore me. Continue.
I don't want to ignore you.
As that seems like a pretty solid spot to basically end the session off. I'll just give you that
Yeah.
because it's kind of hard to see that spot right there. That was another hallway that also.
Yeah, I did not see that.
Yeah, don't worry, I got you. The image on this stone block is exactly the same as it was on the other one, which is like some kind of figure in a hooded robe, sticking one of its arms out. But otherwise, oh, and I guess you would have the time, real quick, to look down this hallway, which sees the following. You see a treasure chest right here. You see something. There is some kind of sarcophagus, and on the wall looks like there is what looks like some kind of a labyrinth, but from this distance it's hard to get more of a gauge about it.
The maze holds the key.
And
That might
is
be
a
worth investigating.
that is a solid spot to end the session. Good job.
We did it.
You did it.
We walked down a few hallways and almost got Saga killed.
Nice.
I wanted
Ah.
to note that I was running purely on fumes, 0 sleep, no nothing.
Oh.
So,
Base.
yeah,
Alright.
I've been